Counseling services, student support will be taken care of by Mrs. Piazza here. There will be other issues about student loan, the UITS, which will also be taken by the systems analysts. And then finally, you'll have the opportunity to interact with your own, the CISA, Science Students Association executive of the college. So without much ado, I would invite the provost of the college to take us through what he has for us. Please, let's welcome the provost. Thank you very much. The deans, that's the dean of Biosciences and Physical Sciences. Senior members here present, college accountants, student executives, all other protocol officers, ladies and gentlemen. Now, another year has come, and then we have a new batch of students. As you know, orientation is one very critical program that per student to take off. It's part of the preparation. Those of you who possibly have traveled by flight, when you're going through flight, traveling by flight, there's always a preparatory stage and things that you have. You are on board, you are safe. And so let's take this orientation as that preparatory stage. And so listen carefully, listen to us. All the presentation, including mine, listen to it carefully, and then I believe that your stay here at University, Fuller College of Science, will be successful. As I mentioned, here, one key thing that I would like to take you one thing that we realize that our academic programs are students over you get a field of science, prepare them, and yes, an ever-changing global village. We are in a global village, so we don't prepare you going through college. The college of science has highly qualified academic and supporting staff. Very highly qualified. Very well trained, and they really know what they are about. So you realize that just after the first year, you see that you are already getting transformed. The college has an excellent lecturers, laboratory facilities, some of which are also useful. The college has a link with both local and international universities, organizations, and industries. And so that we are able to link students for student industrial attachment. We also have links with other universities abroad that students can benefit from exchange programs. Some programs here provide means where students are able to, other they are doing 3 years here and then 1 year abroad, and so on and so forth. All these facilities are available. And then last but not least, we have a huge alumni network. You can imagine when the university has been established, number of people who have completed, very seasoned, working all over, changing the world, changing Ghana, changing every
contributing their quota to the national economy, and then of course the entire world as well. Have somebody from the United Nations and among others, as you know, is one thing that the college has. Next slide. This is just part of lab and other facilities. These are college some facilities that are very critical. The college has an IT office. We also have an eye clinic that is run, of course, by the Department of Optometry. We also have a clinical analysis lab. Of course, this is people can do laboratory tests, medical laboratory tests for you. So this is run by the Department of Biotechnology. We have the course hardware unit course, as we call it. I mean, this set strategically set up to help you repair your laptops. So when you have problems with your laptops, we don't expect you to take them outside. They are well coordinated, and they will prepare and work on the laptop to ensure that the laptop is working. And we also in the process of ensuring that they are able to work on phones as well. So we have this unit working on that. We also have a very beautiful botanical garden, very beautiful one, and where programs are organized for a token to pay something twice a week. So these are other facilities that we have. We have more than this. As you can see, we also have some research centers that in the college. Next slide. So the college is one, as you can see, is one of the 6 colleges. In general, from here I want to mention that if you are not in College of Science and then you mix your way here, please know that we have College of Science, we have College of Health Sciences, we also have College of Agric and Natural Resources. So depending on the college and among others, we know there are 6 colleges. There is likelihood that students from engineering, College of Engineering or College of Health Sciences in particular, would think they are in College of Science and they miss their way here. If you miss your way, please ensure that you go for your orientation in College of Health Science. These are the past provosts of the college. The college actually started 2004. It runs through, and we had so far had a 4th provost, and I'm the 5th of the provost. These are the times that they have served the college. Next slide. Now the college has a simple vision. Our mission is to train a high caliber science student. We really want to give you not only to train you, prepare you, give you entrepreneurial training as well, and so that you can work both, as I said, both in country and across the world. The college also offers students the opportunity to discover, as I mentioned, their full potential and provide access to a first-class education in science. In fact, we, for diverse group of people, the college has no discrimination, no ethnicity, nothing. We actually, of people of that have scientific mind, that really want to really develop ourselves. And these are the people that work here, and those are the people that provide the training as well as you coming in. We'll be ready to work for you. So international students feel relaxed that you've come to College of Science. Don't think that you are not in your country. You are in Ghana and you are safe here as well. Next slide. Yeah. So the vision of the college is to produce high caliber science graduates to support and sustain the industrial and economic development of Ghana and Africa. And of course, as I said, it's not that alone, but also for the entire globe, because we have people working in the States as I speak to you now. Our ultimate goal is to become a center of excellence for training high caliber science graduates, critical to the industry and socio-economic development of Ghana, Africa, and the rest of the world. Next slide. Now, the college has two faculties. We have the Faculty of Biosciences, and this faculty runs the following program. We have the following department. We have the Department of Biochemistry and Biotechnology, Department of Theoretical and Applied Biology, Department of Food Science and Technology, Department of Optometry and Visual Science, and last but not the least, the Department of Environmental Science. These are the departments under Biosciences. Then we have also Faculty of Physical and Computational Science. So here we have Department of Chemistry, Department of Computer Science, Department of Mathematics, Department of Statistics and Actuarial Science, Department of Physics, and currently we having a new department starting this academic year, that Department of Meteorology and Climate Science, which used to be a program or a unit under Department of Physics, now starting as a department on its own. So you can see the admission records. And so, as you can see, 2020, that is those who are going to second year now, and you, 2021, we're having about 3,500 of you admitted into this college. And 2020, we have close to about 3,200, about 3,150 thereabouts admitted. So this is an indication that we continue admission, number of students continue to increase. And so this puts stress on the facility that we have. However, we have introduced a new way of ensuring that you learn. That will mean that you sometimes will give, lecturing will be both in person, that is why you meet the lecturer, and there are times that lectures are going to be organized online. And we expect that you have to avail yourself for all these times so that you can completely be properly trained. Next slide. Yeah. So we also have a number of, as I said, we have, because of the departments we have a number of associations. And these associations leaders in their various departments, they actually, it's good we have this because they will help you, prepare you, give you some training, leadership training, even as you are a student here. There are other leadership opportunities on campus. So know that here, getting to the university, you are prepared as a whole person, both academic and also for social issues and for other leadership opportunities. So these are provided. Aside, the college also provides mentorship and skill development. We have academic tutorial sessions. We have project engagement and supervisions where you have one-on-one with a particular lecturer who take you to, depending on the stages of your studies. We also have guidance and counseling sessions, and these provide a very, to help you really settle and study. We also have student, newly created, we have a student support desk. More will be said about these as we go on. Support desk to ensure that you are really safe. When you have any challenge, you don't know where to go. Just rush there, and then they will offer you assistance. Let's move on. We also have some mentorship continue, as we know. These are female STEM. We have WinSTEM. WinSTEM is completely the women wing of the STEM, and we have very seasoned professors, including the vice chancellor, as you can see seated there, preparing young ladies, helping them to understand their goal, why they are here as female scientists, and so on. And you will meet with other colleagues in the engineering and the health sciences. We also have a colloquium, seminars, and workshops. These are part of training sessions, and you should make sure that you participate in all these. Now, we have code of ethics. Now, students are entreated to dutifully and diligently read through their student guides, and more will be said about that during the next presentation. We also have some opportunities. We have bursaries and scholarships. Those of you who want some of them, The student support desk is also ready to support you and provide some insight for that. Now, we have Provost Excellence Awards. Awards are necessary to motivate you to study. So we expect that our students will prepare themselves, study very well, and also benefit from some of these awards. Yeah, we have extracurricular activities. And as mentioned, I indicated that we are here to prepare you as a complete person. A complete person means that you have to go through other, apart from academic, we provide other trainings, leadership groups, we have college care, we also have college departmental games, college and departmental fellowships, we have college outreach programs, entrepreneurial programs, business incubation opportunities, boot camps, among others. These are all things to really prepare you and give you additional entrepreneurial training, leadership training, among others, to prepare you as person. The college information dissemination, you can visit the college and departmental notice boards. All notice boards in the university, we scarcely make announcements, and take note that your notice boards, and then going to the website and then reading your text. This time we have added text messages, and some will be WhatsApp groups that we set up by lecturers and so on, and then of course website, and all these are the sources where you get information. If you decide not to read any information that comes to you, you do that at your own risk. And finally, I want to say you are warmly welcome. So I want to assure you that the course College of Science will provide you training that either will help you move on into whatever you want to do in the future, but also to tell you that this is the best place God wants you to be. And because God wants you to be there, prepare your mind, be ready and take up the lessons, and you will never regret it. Thank you very much, and you are warmly welcome.
Thank you very much, Provost of the college. Another applause for him. As he indicated, you are very much warmly welcome to the College of Science, and then to come in Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. I'm sure you might have read something about our institution, the history of the institution. You might have read something about it before coming here. Did you? How many of you are aware the university is about 70 years old now? And how many of you too are aware that College of Science or Faculty of Science was one of the faculties that was set up at the very beginning? How many are aware? None. So it means you've not been reading. Yes. I'm sure you are aware our institution started as Kumasi College of Technology in 1951. And then in 1961 it assumed the university status. It started with arts programs, commerce, but it had some science, engineering, science, town planning, and others. But in the course of time, the university decided to focus on science. So you are in the premier science and technology institution of this country. So you are the right place if you are here to study science. And I'm sure you agree with me that science is the basis of human life, right? So you are the right place. So if you selected a program and you never had it, but had another, definitely you'll be serving mankind. Some of you who do not know what a college is, before 2004, we had only faculties and departments. But in 2004, we had a vice chancellor who thought for administration to be well done, let's group the faculties under colleges. And then when it was done, we had 6 out of the various faculties that we had. So if you hear of a college, that is what it is. And then we have faculties, and then we have departments. And the provost who spoke is the head of a college in our institution. So that is a brief history. We've come a long way, and the vision and mission are there for you to look at, to be among the top science institutions in Africa, among the top 10. So you are also here to help that we achieve that. The institution is 70 years, and I'm sure you agree with me that without rules, without laws, you wouldn't be sitting here. Why are you not punching each other in the face? Why are we not doing that? Because I'm sure we are not animals. I hope you agree with me. Yes. So here, because we are from different backgrounds, from wherever, different ethnicity, all that. Once we are here, there is a need to conform. There is a need to respect each other. There is a need to respect the institutions that we have, the facilities that we have. So this orientation is to let you know the rules and regulations that we have, which is what I'm going to briefly touch through. It's not an end in itself, but it's a process, it's a continuum, it's going to continue. So from here, from the little that you hear from here or you listen, you try as much as possible to read a lot about it. Yes. So we have, but before then, when I was mentioning the topics, I forgot to mention payments, guidelines for payments, and possibly your finances. You see, we are here as your parents in absence. Your parents are not here. Locus parenti, right? So how to use your funds, how to do the payments and all that. Keeping your money with you, using it for other things. Our college accountant will take us through that. So let's go through this university rules and regulations, misconduct and discipline. Yes. I'm sure we all have rights. And very soon when you get home, you'll be making people aware that you know your rights. Yes. But rights go with responsibilities. Do we all agree to that? Yes. So we are to live it. Failure to do that will create a lot of confusion. We are not hating against each other because we are humans. And we are different from animals because of rules and regulations or laws. So once we are here, we need to go through these things so that we stay peaceful in this environment. So the discipline in place is to encourage desirable behavior and also discourage undesirable ones, which we all agree. And the university expects all of us to conduct ourselves in accordance with the required standards. I'm sure very soon we'll be giving this document. You'll be giving this document or something similar to this. This is an older one, but all the facts are here. Every student's guide and code of conduct. This is going to be your, next to your Bible. I won't say your Bible, but next to your Bible. Thereby, rules and regulations and other relevant information in the student's guide and code of conduct document. That's the document that I showed you. So in the course of time, liaise with your student association. Each and every one of you will get a copy. In addition to these general regulations, each department of the university has its own rules and regulations to govern the conduct of students. After this, I'm sure you'll be having departmental orientation also. That is also to take you through what you need to know when in the department. And the university has a general disciplinary authority over all of you. I think I've mentioned this. You have access to this. Copies of all the regulations shall be made available to you. And then you need to acquaint yourself with whatever is there. It's very, very key. The enforcement of the regulations. Members of the academic staff and the academic board, the resident committee, dean of students office, administrative officers, hall officers, and other officers in the university are authorized to ensure that we all go through this. And once we fail to do that, there are appropriate sanctions. I'm sure you know about that. It's important you know that all of you are on probation. When I say you're on probation, I'm sure you understand. You are on probation. At any point in time, if you misbehave, you'll be shown the exit. when you go, you fall foul to the rules and regulations that we have. That is not to scare you. I hope you get it. Yes. Some people state that laws are made to be broken, but once you indicate that laws are made to be broken, then you must be prepared for the consequences also. So what are some of the misconduct? This might not be exhaustive, but let's familiarize ourselves with this. You are here to study, isn't it? But not only studies. Mrs. Piasa will also let you know about other things you need to engage in, but you do things in moderation. That will ensure that you don't come against any rules and regulations that we have. So, once you are here for studies, then to be absent from campus without permission from appropriate authority or reasonable excuse, we see it as a misconduct. It's important you let your head of department, your hall master, senior tutor know that you are leaving campus. It is for your benefit, okay? Don't be thinking that this is an extension of a secondary school, no. Okay? It's important that your parents here knows where you are at any point in time. To be absent from lectures is very, very key. If you absent yourself for some number of days, you are considered as having abandoned the program. That is why you need to give information when you are not, you won't be available for a lecture. And to indulge or to be involved in any antisocial activity while in residence or outside campus, which tends to bring the name of the university into disrepute. And I'm sure you agree with me, this is very broad. Things that you do that will bring the name of the university into disrepute. And this brings to mind a dress code. What we are doing will be overlapping. Certain things the provost said, I'll be mentioning them. Mrs. Piasa will also be mentioning some of them. The dress code is very, very key. If you are from us, then you are expected to also behave in a way. If you strip yourself naked outside campus, you've brought the university, the name of the university, into disrepute. And you'll be sanctioned for that. So please take note of that. Ban activities that we have as an institution. Possession of firearms. I don't think any of you has a firearm with him or her. I remember there was a student program. Was it sports? And to my surprise, I saw a student pulling a gun from here. We don't expect to see that. Once we do that without the proper documentation or the proper authority, then we are infringing on the rules and regulations that we have. Smoking. Anything. Whether it's weed or paper. And if you are here also to engage in sales or sale of some of these things too, you need to be very careful. Narcotic and illicit drugs are also prohibited. Ponding, I'm sure the halls don't have the ponds anymore. But those that have, in the previous times we had a pond in all the halls. And it was done for fun. When somebody possibly is successful in something, or somebody grabs, you wouldn't understand. Your friends will just come in the morning, just carry you and just go dip you into the cold water in the morning. And it was for fun. But as time went on, it became dangerous. You see, it was done in a consensual way, consent. I agree for you to carry me. But we had situations where we had some guys who would just forcibly pick a person to go and dump him into the pond. And in the course of that, some got injured. So the university said, no, we can't allow this to continue. Other people have brought their children to us to take care of it. I'm sure you are not children. The statement I used, it cost me some time past. Who have brought their, what word should I use? Words. Okay. But no matter your age, once you're dad, you are a child. I'm sure you get it. Yeah. Yes, so the university thought it wise that, no, please, let's do away with it. But we still had some people who were doing that, so that is why we have it here. Indecent exposure, I think I've made mention of that. And this goes to both sides of the aisle. We have some males who would visit the lecture halls in footwears that are not decent, and the way they also carry themselves, hair. Their hair would be unkempt, and certain things that are not pleasant to the eyes. And for the ladies also, you need to dress decently. That is all I think I can say about this. Subletting of rooms in the halls of residence. You have just come, so but it applies to everybody. Even though you've come freshly, if you realize that somebody is in need, and you think you stay not too far from here, and you think, I can give it to this person and take money, you have to be very careful. That can also cost you. That can also create some problems for you. There are penalties. Before we come to this, there is something that is dear to me. I'm sure you might have seen our environment. How would you rate the College of Science? How would you rate us? I think you've seen that it's not bad, okay? And you as freshmen joining us, there is a plea that on behalf of the Provosts and other members of the management, I want to appeal to you to do. Please help us to keep our environment clean. There is something I have observed which we must avoid. I don't think any of us in our homes will just lean against the wall and just do this. How many of us? Possibly you do that possibly when you live in a swish. I'm sure you know what a swish is. That red mud house. If you live in that, fine. But here, please, we are spending so much to keep the place clean. So never lean and then do this. When you walk around, you see what I'm talking about. So this is my plea to you. If I've done it to your other colleagues, but some still do it. So this is my plea. It's part of the decent behavior we expect from you. So penalties for breach of the regulations that we have. As I indicated, when you read this, you appreciate very much what we want you to do and what you are expected to do. You'll be warned in some of them. You know, all infractions are not the same. So in some cases, you'll be warned. It could be verbal warning. A letter could also be written to warn you. It can also be a reprimand. Rustication for a stated period. You'll be asked to leave us for some time. You've not been sacked, but go stay at home and then be thinking about what you did and then think of how best you're going to improve on that. And then you'll be suspended from the use of university services or facilities for a stated period. Payment or making good of the loss of or damage to any property of the university. And then, you know, the last one, you'll be dismissed, which we don't expect any of you to go through that. So please, let's go by what we are expected to do. When we do that, I think we are all fine, isn't it? Yes. If you look at the three and the 6, it is a preserve of the Vice Chancellor. The dismissal has to come from her or him. And then the 3, rustication, it has to be done by her or him. So they are major ones. I mentioned the Vice Chancellor because there are major decisions that would have to come from her. But he or she doesn't do it in his or her own way. In the institution, we have it's a committee system. Once I might see you hit the lady just by you, but there's a need to get a committee in place to find out why you hit your colleague. I hope you get it, because the person might have said something which was very, I don't know the word to use, but I remember you might have been very young then. There is this footballer in Holland. He once spat into a German attacker. Those who were watching, Rijkaard, yes, those who were watching condemned it. But something might have happened. You know, the guy is from Suriname. He's a black. And Rudy Fuller is a German. And you know the race, the blue eyes. Eh? I'm sure the guy might have said something to him when they clashed. And then when he was getting out, he just spat. If you judge Rijkaard, you may be wrong. So it's important that we set up a committee to look at what actually happened, to know where the sanction will go. So we have a committee system here, so there will be an investigation, and then once it is done, each party will be given the opportunity to present his or her facts, and then a decision is taken. The other penalties shall be treated as minor ones and may be imposed on his behalf. I think I should have brought her also. Forgive me. Yeah. I'm sure you know we have the very first female vice chancellor of our institution. You don't go and tell her in my presentation I didn't bring her. I only use hers. Yes. So you are not, as I indicated, you won't, once you are sanctioned, you have the opportunity to also appeal against the sanction. So any student may appeal to the vice chancellor within 21 days upon the receipt of notice of punishment. Yes, we live in a democratic society. And the vice chancellor, upon receipt of the appeal, may review the punishment by taking into consideration the circumstances of the case. There is something I think it's missing. As students, you are not supposed to, some of the things you are not supposed to do. Now you are here. You can't just run to any journalist who just parades this place and be speaking to that person. I hope you get it. We have rules and regulations regarding that. Okay? You can only do that if you have permission to do that. Other than that, we have officials of the institution to speak on behalf of the university. So never speak on behalf of the university. That is not your business. So without taking much time, I think, as I indicated, these are just signposts, okay? As we move along, you have the opportunity to read a lot about the rules and regulations. If you have questions, as I indicated, you can ask any head of department, ask a dean. The student support desk is down here. You'll soon find out. Send whatever problems that you have there, and it will be attended to. So I would end here and then ask the next presenter, who happens to be a college accountant, to also take you through how to manage your finances and the payments you need to do and how you ensure that the finances you have are properly handled. So thank you very much for having time to listen to me. Thank you very much. So Mrs. Aqua will take you through it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, my abled registrar. Prof. Chair, all protocol observed. Please permit me to add my voice to that of my provost and my registrar, and to welcome you to KNUST. My presentation this morning is on payment of fees and then guidelines on spending. Guidelines on spending and then payment of fees. Payment of fees is an integral part of the registration exercise. The system can only allow you to register on condition that you've made full payment of fees. And then if you also want to be a student of good standing of KNUST, you should be able to pay your fees in full. Payment of fees. All students are expected to pay fees of various sums depending on their fees status. We have 3 categories of students: regular students, Ghanaian fee-paying students, and international students. Each of these categories that I mentioned has a different fee schedule. If you are a regular student, you don't expect to pay the same fee as somebody who is an international student. And if you are also an international student, you don't expect to pay the same fees as somebody who is a regular student. You all have different fee schedule. So if you have a friend who is an international student, don't think that you are going to pay the same fees as your friend. No, you have different fees schedule. Payment of fees, or whatever amount you will pay, is dependent on your status. Students are supposed to pay fees in full at any of the following banks at no cost to them. Students are supposed to pay in full at any of the following banks at no cost to them: GCB Bank, Cal Bank, Consolidated Bank Limited, UBA Bank, Republic Bank, Standard Chartered, ABSA, Stanbic, and EcoBank. We have all these banks on campus, but that doesn't mean that you have to travel all the way from wherever you are to KNUST campus and then pay fees. No. Wherever you are, if there is a branch of any of the banks that I mentioned, you just walk in there and then you pay your fees. They've made payment of fees very flexible and then convenient. Wherever you are, if you are in Nandom and there is a branch of the bank that I just mentioned there, you just go there and then you don't need to come to campus to pay your fees. Again, when you walk in there and you don't understand anything, ask any of the bank staff and then they will assist you to pay your fees. When you pay the fees, they will give you bank pay-in slip. Bank pay-in slip, please. We call it PIS, the short, but it's bank pay-in slip. Make sure you keep it very well. You don't know when you might need it. Keep it very well until you are done with KNUST. If I say you are done with KNUST, what I mean is until you've completed, you've gone for your certificate. In that case, you are done with KNUST. So make sure you keep the PIS very well because you don't know when you need it. Again, you are supposed to pay the fees in full. Once you pay it in full, the system automatically allows you to register. The system clears you to register. You pay in full and then the system automatically allows you to register. If you're unable to pay in the full and it's even left it one pesewa, the system will block you. It will block you and you will not be able to register. So please take note of that. And then once you also pay at the bank, it reflects on your student portal. It reflects on your student portal and also it reflects on your account with us. The moment you pay, it reduces your indebtedness with KNUST. For instance, if your bill is 10 cedis, you go walk into the bank, you pay 10 cedis, your balance then becomes 0. It's networked. So the moment you pay, it reflects on your portal. As indicated earlier, payment of fees must be done in full at the beginning of the semester. We have 2 semesters in an academic year. You are supposed to pay the fees in full at the beginning of the semester. When you pay in full, you just register for your courses. We have students who are on scholarship, and they are not supposed to pay by fiscal cash. Their donors usually pay for them. In that case, you are supposed to produce sufficient evidence of the award of scholarship. When you are able to do that, the finance officer will clear you and then you can register. It's only the finance officer Who can clear you to register? I cannot clear you to register. It's only my boss, the finance officer, who can. But then you should be able to produce sufficient evidence of the award of scholarship. We have some institutions that are not credible. If they say they are awarding you scholarship and then they bring it to the finance officer will not clear you. He will advise you to pay, and then when they pay, they will refund or reimburse your money to you. The next thing I want to talk about is guidelines on spending. This is a free consultancy I'm giving you, so please take it serious. It will help you, because some of us will be here with limited funds. We are dependent on our parents, and you know that what we are going through as a nation, most of our parents are not working now, so they'll be giving you little amount to come and spend on campus. Make sure you do that judiciously. I'll start by saying that you should be able to prepare a simple personal budget. Budget is a financial plan. Budget is a financial plan. And then it will guide you in your spending. It will show you your expected expenditure, income, and then your expected expenditure. As I said, it's useful to prepare a simple budget. The budget will show your expected income and then your expected expenditure. Your expected income and then your expected expenditure. Your sources of income. Income may be from whom? From your parents, your mother, your father, from your siblings, from your uncle, from your brothers and sisters who are working, from your grandparents. They will be maybe decide to fund your education, and then they will decide to give you living allowance every month. It's a source of income. Then some of you also be depending on students' loan trusts. It's also a source of income that you can plan with. Scholarship. And then other remittances that you know. Expected expenditure may include food. You need food to survive on campus. You need food to survive on campus. But then I'm not talking about pizza, fried rice, and chicken. And assuming your parents, they have decided to give you 200 Ghana cedis every month. Assuming. This is a hypothetical case. And then you decide to spend it on pizza, fried rice and chicken, French fries. Within some few weeks, everything will be exhausted. We have affordable food joints on campus. Please look around and then make sure you spend your money on affordable food, which is also nutritious. We have gobe. Gobe is very cheap and very nutritious. It's cocoa and beans. Fried plantain and then beans. Beans is nutritious. You have protein in it. We have carbohydrate in it, fat, everything in it. We have shabre. That's Hausa cocoa. It's also very cheap. So why do you want to spend the little money that you have on then pizza? Just to impress who? You are not here to impress anybody. You are here to learn. So please, food has to be number one on your priority list, because you will need it to survive on campus. And make sure you go in for an affordable one, since you'll be working with limited resources or limited income. The next one is books. Books. If you want to make a good grade, you have to spend on books. College of Science has a well-resourced library, but that doesn't mean that you don't have to buy books, please. If you want to make a good grade, you have to budget for at least 1 or 2 books, and then it will help you. Photocopies, handouts, and then pamphlets. You also need it. So in your budget, simple budget that you prepare, make sure you make provision for it. Clothing. Clothing, to me, it's not a necessity. You have some. So you can, if you know you have limited resources, please, you can do with what you have now, so that later when you add to your wardrobe. But even though I've added it, it depends on your income. Transportation. We have camp ride, but then on Sundays you have to bus shuttle and to church, and then weekends if you want to go to market, so you have to make provision for internet and then call credits. KNUST will give you Vodafone chip. And then you have Wi-Fi all over. But you can never tell, so you provide for fees and accommodation. Those who will be on scholarships and then loan trusts. When you receive your loan, make sure you set some aside for the following years or subsequent years' fees and then accommodation. When you receive them, I don't think that, oh, it's something that I've received within the academic year, so you are going to exhaust everything. No, when you do that, it will not help you. And then we have miscellaneous income. Miscellaneous, the list is exhaustive. You are a lady and then you braid your hair. Make sure you budget for it. You are a guy and then you go to barbering studio to shave your hair. Make sure you budget. You plan for it so that you not spend your money anyhow. Let me sound a word of caution here. Avoid unnecessary spending. Avoid unnecessary spending, especially the ladies. I want to buy palazzo. I want to buy crop. I want to buy tattered jeans. You know your mother has given you 200 cedis. Do you know the cost of one palazzo? Somebody is wearing it, so you also want to wear it. Who do you want to impress? Please, make sure you avoid impulse buying. You haven't budgeted, you see it, and then because others are buying, you also follow suit, and then you are doing same. No. Please, make sure you avoid it. Remember, do not include income that is not certain in your budget. In budgeting, certainty of the income is very important. If you are not certain of receiving them, do not include it in your budget. For instance, you have a friend who is not working, he's depending on his parent, and then he has assured you that he will give you 200 every month. There's a proverb that if nakedness says he will give you cloth, ask of what? If nakedness says he will give you cloth, do what? Yes. The person is not working, the person is depending on his parent, and then he has assured you that, oh, I'll give you 200 every month. And in your budget, you add it to your income. If you are not careful, you will end up borrowing money from friends. So please, if you are not certain about the source, don't include it in your budget. And then remember that some of the funds or income may delay. For instance, student trust loan sometimes is delayed, and then the scholarship. Sometimes it takes a whole semester before you can assess it. So into your budgeting, factor in all this. In conclusion, let me say that please make sure you live within your means. Live within your means. Spend judiciously. Be content with what you have. And I know you will enjoy your stay on campus. May God bless us all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Kate Aqua. We should make sure we spend within our means. But some of us are oldies. Mrs. Aqua, you made mention of Parazzo. What is it? Never heard of it. What is it? Good. It's a form of trousers. Okay. I'm sure older folks are not allowed to wear. Short. Oh, okay. Okay, cropped. Another new word. Good. I think we've gone through some exercise by listening to some presentations. Let's give ourselves some few minutes to find out if any of you has any question. Let's give ourselves some 2-3 minutes. Does anybody have any question regarding what we've heard so far? So everything is fine. Well, it's just the beginning. Has each and every one of us been vaccinated? Other two? One? I've forgotten that there are other people up there, so raising hands wouldn't solve the problem. But there is an exercise at in front of the hall for those who are yet to be vaccinated or who have had one and would want to have the other also. So just get yourselves prepared. Good. If there isn't any question, then we'll go to the next one. the next presentation, which is on university assessment of examinations. University assessment of examinations, the grading system. So I'll call on. Oh, yes. Sorry. The next one is how to optimize the use of the college or faculty library. And that will be taken by the college librarian. Let's welcome him, please.
All right, good morning, everyone. And again, I also say, on behalf of the management, I'll welcome you to this great college, and I believe this is a good college for you. My name is Richard Bruce Lamptey. I'm the college librarian. I'm here to just present to you the library, the university library system. So that's the imposing structure. Every good university has a very imposing structure of the library. Library building at the main, closer to the administration. So why are you here? You are here to study. And if you are here to study, there are things that there are support systems that are available that you need to have and use. So one of it is the library. So how can the library support you? The library can support you in so many ways. This is a university, and in the university you cannot go through your educational system without using the library. So I want to encourage you that you have to try as much as possible and use the library. Don't depend on your lecturer's PowerPoint presentations. Many times, my observation is that many times students, when the lecturer finishes his lecture, then you see them following him for presentation. You can take the presentation, fine, but go to the library or get to know where the library resources are and do further reading on the area. So I'm just going to tell you the university library system, the locations of the various libraries that are available, services and facilities that we provide, and then the support resources that are also. So just get to know the role of the library. The role of the library is to support teaching, learning, and research. And I want to say the KNUST library system is made up of the main the second library, and then 14 other faculty and college libraries. And we are here to deliver information services that will enhance your learning, teaching and learning. All right, so we have the main the second library, which is closer to the administration, university administration. And we have 6 colleges, including College of Science. They all have libraries. And then we also have the faculty libraries as well. We also have the faculty libraries. For College of Science, we have one unique library, and I want to tell you that it's the nicest library on campus. Among the 5 SS colleges, College of Science library is the nicest, very neat library. We end up having even engineering students and other students from other colleges coming to use the library. All right, so the opening hours, we open from Monday to Friday for the college libraries, but the main library opens from Monday to Saturday. And during exam hours, we open 24 hours for the main library, the main university library. For the college library, we open Monday to Friday, 8 to 5 o'clock. Exam time, we extend it to 9 o'clock for the college library. And for College of Science, we have other places that students can also use, the learning commons and then the research commons. So all those areas too, we also have times that they also close. So for the learning commons, we close at 10 o'clock. And what we do is that we we allow students to help us to manage such places. So in case you are interested, you can let the CISA executives know. Right, so the resources that we have both print and then electronic. The print, you can have access to them when you come to the library. And then the electronic, you don't necessarily have to come to the library to have access. All you have to know, we give you the online platform, so you can even check some of the resources on your phone or on your laptop, anywhere you are. But for the print, you need to come to the library. And we have the books, we have the journals, we have the thesis, hard copy ones, they are out there. So for the hard copy ones, or the books, or the hard copy materials, we also have a platform, the library catalog platform, where you can also access to see whether a particular material that you are looking for, a particular book by a particular author or a subject area is available. So you can easily have access to. So it's the platform is libcat.knust.edu.gh. Libcat, libcat.knust.edu.gh. So that you go onto that platform and then check whether a particular material, a book that you are looking for, it's in the library. So before, if you want to come to the library, you can come. But when you come to the library, you can also do the same thing there. And then it directs you to the particular shelf for you to have access to it. So that's the interface of what I'm talking to you about. So you can search by keywords, you can search by keywords by, and then search by subject, or you can also search by author or title. So that's the interface. So there's a title, search. All right. So the books in the library, they are arranged in an order. And we use the Library of Congress classification scheme. So some universities use, or some libraries, they use different classifications. So we have the Dewey classification scheme, where you use numbers. And then Library of Congress classification scheme uses alphanumeric. So it's a combination of numbers and alphabet. So for us, we are here. Every subject area will start with Q. Within this college, every subject area, class number will start with Q. Borrowing rights. Undergraduate, you have access to 5 books to borrow at a time. And then you have just 14 days to return or renew the books. So if you are a postgraduate student and you are here, you also have 7 books to borrow. And you also have the same 14 days to return the books. If you lose a book, you pay for it. So please, do not try to lose any book. The good thing about it is that our system is automated. So when you come if you want to borrow a book, we scan your ID card. Then we scan the book, and then that means that book is attached to your ID card, or is attached to your account. If you don't bring it, after 14 days, you don't bring it, you start incurring debts overdue. So every day you pay. Every day there's an amount that you pay. So please, don't try to, accountants say that try and manage your finances well. If you come and you have any overdue book, you will pay for it. If you lose any book, you have to pay for it. So try as much as possible and be responsible. The digital or the electronic resources, these are the databases that we subscribe to. We subscribe to over 50 databases. And we pay so much. Recently, we wanted to renew some of our databases. We were supposed to pay, for 5 years, we were supposed to pay $5 million. $5 million for 5 years. So you know that the resources that we subscribe to, they are very good. Use them, very useful. You cannot leave this university or go vacation in this place without using the library resource. Very good journals, very good research. Current knowledge, you can't find them in books, you find them in journals. So I also want to encourage you, please try as much as possible. As you read textbooks, you can also be reading journal articles as well, and you can get them through these platforms. So we have Springer, JSTOR, Emerald, Wiley, EBSCO, Science Direct, Directory of Open Access Books. They are all there, so you can use them. These ones, you don't necessarily need to come to the library. You can have access to it once you're on campus anywhere, even off campus, which you can use the off-campus platform, which is, so there's the LibCat that I mentioned. There's the library catalog, the address for the library catalog, where if you want to have access to the books or the whatever, you want to be sure whether there are some books, a particular book in the library, you use the first one. Then for access to journals or the databases, you go through the ocl.knusc.edu.gh. With your university email address, you can have access to the full text of those resources. This one, you don't need to log in. The first one, you don't need to log in. You just go onto the platform and then search for a book or material. It will show you whether it's in the library or which particular library are we holding that material. But this particular one, you need to log in with your university email. I'm sure you'll be getting the university email address and the password very soon. So all these resources, many times, students end up copying and pasting. I want to encourage you. Plagiarism is a very serious offense in this university. When the registrar was talking, I think maybe he forgot to mention it, but this is a very serious, it's a serious offense. So you must. So plagiarism is presenting someone else's work as your own. Is plagiarism. So do not do such a thing. And we have a software in this university. We have a software called Turn It In. Turn It In. It will definitely arrest you. Once you do your work, let's say your lecturer will give an assignment, you go and do copy and paste. You will definitely submit that work through Turn It In. You will pull all the places that you copied from. Sometimes some of the lazy students, what they do is that they go and pick someone's work, a work that has been done already, then they present it as their own. The whole work is a serious offense. So please. So we have a software that can arrest you. So please be aware of some of these things. And every lecturer has that software, the account to the software. Okay. So we have redesigned the library space in such a way that people with different learning styles, we have accommodated a lot of them. So we have different environment and areas. So some people want to learn in a group, so we have a discussion area. Some people also want to bury their head in the book, so we have also quiet and contemplative learning environment. Then we also have another area where it's a blend of the two. So the study areas are there. So we have the learning commons, the research commons, then the main library. So we have the access to photocopy. In case you want to make a photocopy, you come to the library. You want to make a photocopy, or you see something in the book and you want to have access to that. Please see one of the library staff and then make a photocopy. Do not tear the thing. Do not remove it, please. Do not. At best, you can use your phone to scan it and then use it. But we see students coming to the library, removing a whole chapter from the book. Please. Avoid that. Okay. So we also have training. We do academic skills, research skills. So we do it regularly. So you can come in groups or as a class, and we can have the training for you. It's very, very important to know how to retrieve information, look for information, look for literature for your work. So we also do some of these things. All right, so we do some face-to-face, we also do online. Okay. In case you have any issue, you can also send a mail or you can go to the website of the library, and then you have the details there. You can send a mail to us. Okay. So these are some of the training sessions that I mentioned plagiarism in case you don't understand it. When you come for such training, we will take you through. All right. Great. So something to take away. A library is not just a place for study. It can also be a partner in your research and in teaching. Students who fail to capitalize fully on such a facility will find it harder to compete. Very hard to compete. So it was stated by Skono. So just have a feel of, I just want you to see the inside of the library. And then I think I'll wait for some questions. So that's the entrance of the College Library. So this is the area for the journals, different subject area. So that's the catalog. When you enter on the right-hand side, you see the catalog there. So the gentleman standing here is trying to look for a book. But because you don't know where the resources are, you have to use the catalog, and then it will point you to which shelf or where that material is. So that's still the catalog there. So that's the inside of the library. And you can see that I told you about plagiarism. It's a very serious offense. So we have a pull-up banner that tells you about the different types of plagiarism. So when you enter, please be reading some of these. So that's the inside of the library. When you go further down, you go to the digital environment where you can come in with your laptop. I've observed that many students, when they come, they think that that place is a special area for some special people. It is not a special area for special people. Anybody can use that place. So please, when you enter and you have a laptop, you want to use a laptop, go to this area. And we've done it such a way that bring your own device. You have not provided any laptop or any computers there. Bring your own device. So these people have their own device. They are sitting there having access to the online digital resources. This is the discussion area. I told you that some people like different ways of learning. So there's a discussion area. It's at the basement. It's not at the library. It's at the basement. You can go there in groups and sit there and discuss. And it's also good to learn in groups. You learn from each other. And there's the learning commons. There's the area for the quiet learning environment. So we have cubicles, but we have these workstations that you can easily have access to it, and then go in there and use the place. This is for postgraduate students. It's also on the other side. There's a research commons. There's also we've provided the discussion area for them, and then the inside here is also a workstation area for a different style of learning. So I want to say that the information retrieval training that we do, I want to say that for you to know, for you to do any successful research, it depends on knowing the resources that are available and knowing how to find these resources. And then you have to develop search strategy, how to find these resources. Also very important. A good place to start looking for some of those things and moving further with your research is the library, available library tools. So please take the library resources that we have very serious. All right. So the training that we conduct, these are the areas that we show students where to look for books, where to look for thesis, how to have access to the journals, and then some Google product that can help you to speed up your research work or your learning. And then we take you through the Plagiarism Checker, which is a 1018. And we have some few mobile apps that will also show you how to use or to speed up your research work. So with this, I'll say thank you very much. I don't know whether, or if you have any question, you can ask me, because I have another presentation somewhere to do. So you can ask me any question before I leave, please. Yes. A microphone for this gentleman, please.
Good morning once again. My name is Kofi Aferiminta. I want to ask, since we don't have our ID cards, is it like, can we access the books right now? Is it free or?
Yeah, you can have access. You can access the books, but you cannot borrow for now. Yeah.
Okay.
Any question? Second, upstairs, if you have any question, you can ask. Yes, okay, there's a lady out there.
Hello, my name is Lumo Prinsla, and I would like to ask if we can bring water to the library.
Yes, you can bring water to the library. We provide the water in the library. So what you do is that you can bring your bottle and then fetch from the Kelvinator. So we have a water dispenser in there. So you can bring water. But again, be responsible when you are using the water in the library.
Thank you.
Anyone here?
I also have in my hand, I have some stuff up there. They have flyers. So in case you need to know any more thing about the library, you have the flyer here. My face is there. My number is there. There are a lot of information in here. So in case you want one, someone is at the back there. They are up there. You can ask for it. The next floor, there's someone also there. Any more questions? Good student, ask questions. question. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Lamte. I'm sure we're going to prove people who think if you need to hide anything from us, I mean the black man, you put it in a book. I'm sure we're going to prove them wrong by going to the library to read a lot. Good. I would now call on a college examinations officer, Professor Labi, to take us through university assessment and examinations as a grading system. Thank you. Please welcome Professor Labi.
Good morning. As has been mentioned already, I'll take you through the assessment procedures and the rest. I'll just say a big congratulations to all of you for coming in here. And as I say so, I just then will want you to think through, how did I get selected to come in to undertake a program in biological science, to undertake a program in optometry, to undertake a program in food science. Then as you search your minds, you realize then that some not far away you were sitting anxiously waiting what my grace will be like. And once you got to know what your grace will be like, you had the opportunity then to be able to do a selection again, reorganize your selection for the courses to make it more appropriate and to give you some assurance that you'll be able to get selected for that particular program that you were interested in. And it's all because you had done something, you had been assessed, and based on the level of knowledge that you had through that assessment, then you had the opportunity to continue to add on to that set of knowledge you had. So I'm talking on university assessment and examinations. The main purpose for you being here as students. You will want to gain more knowledge as your lecturers will guide you. And as they guide you through the process, you will have to be assessed to find out whether your level of knowledge has gone up to the level that is required for you to get a degree. And then you get the next step, you get your degree, and then you move on in life. Right. So I'm the college exams officer. I'm John Labi, it's been said already. And I work with my faculty exams officers. And we also have departmental exams officers that support us for the processing of examinations, for assessments, and all that. So I have here, why do we write and pass examinations? We normally will have to write and pass examinations so that at least by passing the examination, it gives an idea of the level of knowledge that you have. And once we know that you have enough knowledge in a certain area, then you have the opportunity to further in that particular area. Then a student's success in an examination helps employers as well, and others to assess their general ability and their mental ability to be able then to go through certain other programs of their choices. So in the university, you are awarded a degree after passing required examinations. And I want you to take note of the word awarded. You write requisite examinations, but the degree is awarded. What it also then means is that it goes with some responsibilities and a certain code as a graduate from KNUST at the end of the day. So when you go after you've had a degree and misconduct yourself, the university has an opportunity or has a right to say, your conduct doesn't merit holding an award from us, and the university can withdraw the award. So you put in an effort, we top it up for you, but you have to be responsible as you hold the university degree and move it around. Right. So the whole process of assessments will start with you going through a process of registration. And in going through the process of registration, you have to do the registration of courses, and then you have to do your biometric registration. The biometric registration is done once. You don't do biometric for courses and do biometric for your hostels and your halls and all that. You do it only once. So once you do the biometric registration, it gives an indication that, yes, the student has reported to the university in person. Else, if we are not doing that, people will stay elsewhere. Others will do registration for them. They just take notes, read through, come and write examinations. But we need you to be present on the campus, and that is why you have to do biometric registration to confirm your presence. And then you do also the course registration. And the course registration usually is what permits you to write exams. So for courses you have registered are the only courses in which you will be assessed on in terms of examinations. So you don't register for course A and then expect that you write an exam in course B. All the courses you have registered are the courses for which you will be writing your exams in. Then, of course, there's no registration by proxy. You need to do your registration in person, and that is in tandem with the biometric registration that you normally will have to do. Once you are done with your registration, usually you will receive a registration slip. You print out a registration slip, and you see that on the same A4 sheet, you have what is projected up here, one up, one down. You sign your portions, you submit to your department. The department exams officer is supposed to cross-check that you've done the correct registration. He also certifies. He gives you a copy, and then they keep a copy at the department on file. And of course, these are part of the documentations that we all will need to do so that when there are issues, we can easily go back and then see where the problems are and then do the rectification of such. Now, we do a lot of our registrations online now, and sometimes for subsequent semesters, you'll find that you'll all even be in the house on holidays, and the portals will be open for you to do the course registration. But you take note that once course registration is done, you only will have to validate it by doing your biometric registration. So if we are on holidays and I'm in Accra, and I do my course registration, that is not the end of it. When I come to school, I must validate that registration I've done by going through the process of biometric verification. So once you are done with your registration, the next thing you'll be looking out for. I've registered for 5 courses, A to E. When am I supposed to go to be guided or to go to get my lectures? And so then you look out for a timetable. And our teaching timetable usually will look like the format that is presented in here. And for that, you realize that we have the course code. We have the course code. You have the course title. Course code, you have a course title, and you should always do very well to keep the course titles in mind. Ensure that you always will keep your course titles in mind, so that when there's an issue, an idea, we are asking which course, you tell me Chem 155, Bio 251, or whichever course that it is. So you keep your course codes in mind. So, as I was saying, you need to get the timetable, and I want you to take notes. You realize that you have, behind the scene, you see draft 1. That is to tell you that we will initially provide a draft timetable. And when the draft timetable comes out, you are all supposed to help your class reps to see whether there are problems with the draft timetables, even whether there are some courses that are not assigned with lecturers. Then you make a report to your departmental exams officers. The information gets through to faculty exams officers. And then, as a team, we sit and then we rectify those problems. So you'll see the course code Bio 153. For Wednesday, beneath you see K. Buampo, that is the examiner who is supposed to take you for that course. Then on top of the Bio 153, again on the left side, you see SCB SF1. That gives an indication of the location where you are supposed to have the lecture. And I'm sure you've been taken around already, and so you should have an idea of the various lecture rooms that we have within the college. You also will take note that for some of them, we have the lectures outside the confines of our college. So you see for English, ENGL 157, you see NR5. We will give you footnotes underneath in which colleges those rooms are so that you can follow up and then know where you have your lectures. So in principle, not all lectures will be within the college. You may take some lectures in other colleges as well. If for your program you are lucky to get all your courses within the college, then that is fine. But the important thing again is that once you see your draft timetable, even if there's no problem with it, expect to see one that is indicated revised or final. So you need to look out for another timetable aside this, which usually will come within a week or so after the draft timetable has been released. Now, once you have done your registration, you have your timetable, you go in for your lectures, then we come to the point where you are examined to find out what you have achieved, what you have understood of all the things that you have done within the semester. And in doing so, we determine or we are able to grade you. Once we want to do grading and we want to be as fair as we can, then we also don't want to find you cheating. And one reason you'll find everybody wanting to come to KNUST is also because KNUST is a brand. And we cherish our examinations such that once you go out and you hold a certificate and they say, this certificate is coming from KNUST, whoever is seeing it is sure. Whoever is seeing the certificate then is sure that, yes, the student has been rigorously tested. And so this certificate, whatever it says, is actually authentic about the student. And so the university frowns very much on exam malpractices. And you can see examples in there when somebody will say it's giraffing, just trying to stretch the neck to see what the other person is. You see very common instances at the other end. Students try to exchange papers, exchange information on examination, and then you see in other cases where they sit close by and just try to do giraffing again in a more civilized way. Just want to eye the other person's script and see what is there, or receive some material and try to copy from the material. We take exception of that, and you will be punished if you are caught for any malpractice. And it ranges from warning, being warned, right through to dismissal. And you take note that when you are dismissed from the university, at any point that you are dismissed, you don't get any transcript, even for earlier years that you have done. Once you are dismissed, you forfeit any academic material in the university. So we wipe you off our books altogether as being a student of the university. In other cases, other punishments, you may be able to come back, get a transcript that, yes, I've been to KNUST and can go elsewhere. But when it is dismissal, it is finished for you in KNUST. You can't receive any document from KNUST. For the exams, after you've written the exams, we do grading of your exams. The exams usually will be in two parts. Towards the middle of the semester, you write the mid-semester examination, and then at the end, you write the end of semester examinations as well. For the mid-semester examinations, we refer to the set of assessments all through before the mid-semester and after the mid-semester as the continuous assessment. So you have a mid-semester exam to write, you have assessments to undertake. It could be assignments, it could be essays that you'll be given to write, it could be quizzes and all. All of those come together as your continuous assessment, and that constitutes 30% of the score. And I remember the college librarian talking about plagiarism. And usually when we are giving assignments to students to go do and submit, then you find that A struggles to do the assignment, B, C, and D will collect the same assignment. Sometimes they just will change the name and index number. Every other thing is left, and then they submit. And right as you are starting, take the caution. We have the Turnitin that will be able to subject every single work through to see whether it's plagiarized or not. So the advice here is that you try to do good work originating from your own self. Read the books, read the articles, and make sure that for all the assignments you have to do out of class, it is your own effort that gets into it, and not just picking material from other individuals. So for the continuous assessment, altogether is 30 marks. And then for the main exam, that is a minimum of 2 hours, maximum of 3 hours most often. It goes for 70% of the total score. So 30% of the score is all the assignments and the mid-semester and all the things you do. And then the 70% goes for the semester examinations. The pass mark at the end of it all is usually 40%, but for optometry, those that are doing OD in optometry, the pass mark is 50. So you take note of that. OD, your pass mark is 50. Other courses, the pass mark is 40. Don't be happy with the 40, because we'll get to a point where you realize that if you are getting only 40s, you can't get a certificate. I think in one of the slides I'll talk about that. If you are getting only 40s, you will not be able to get a certificate. If you are getting only 50s, you may not be able to get a certificate. So you will see here how the grading is done. Normally, when we do the marking of your scripts and put all the results, continuous assessment and exam results together, we come up with a grading system, 70 to 100 as A, 60 to 69 as B, 50, 59 as C, and then we have 40 to 49 as D, 0 to 39 as F. And I did mention earlier on that don't be happy getting 40, 40, because when it comes to the classification where you'll be issued a certificate, then for those that will get 40 to 44, you don't get a certificate. You can't graduate. And you have to take other courses to be able to graduate. The classification is so because we also appreciate that we have different strengths in the different courses that we will do. So maybe I will score 40 in one of my weaker courses, or something happened I scored 40. But it's expected also then that as a student, I'll be able to do well in my strengths. So in some of the areas, I'll do very well, and at the end of the day, you will need to get 45 or more to be able to get a degree. So if you don't make 45 minimum grade, you cannot get a degree. So that is the classification that we have. Then a student is deemed to have trailed a paper. Generally, we will say once you fail is a trail. But there are other categories of a trail. And you can see that we have when the student is graded as incomplete, and you see the incomplete as I, or you see it as I star. When it's I star, what it means is that the student has written the exam, but then the score, for one reason or the other, is not yet available for processing. And so as we go through the process, we put an I star to give an indication that the score is not available. We must get the score. It is not the student's business at that level. You have written the exam. So we take that up and we try to sort that aspect out. But when it's an I, then it comes up in situations where the student was sick. There's a medical reason generally, and so the student was not able to write the paper or to go for lectures all through, whichever the case may be. However, the university, the board also has provisions by which they can make an indication that listening to this student, looking at this student's case, we put an I there, not necessarily medical. So you can have a situation where students, for example, are part of a debating team. The period that we are writing exams, these students are out of the country for the university. They are not there to write exam. You can't give them 0. You can't say it's incomplete because they have not written the exam. So you can't put I star there. So what we then, the decision then is made, we are informed, and then we put I there, indicating the general term is medical. But then the student comes back, we organize the exams for them, the scores are entered, and then their grading is completed. Then we have the DF. And generally the DF stands for deferred. And the deferment comes in several forms. You can have a student that has registered for all his courses. But when you go back, I'm sure you've been told that there's a student guide that you have to study. When you go back and look at your student guide, it will tell you that if you don't attend lectures on 3 occasions, not consecutive, I can go today, next week I'll go, 2 weeks time I'll go, 3rd week, 4th week I don't go. I go for the others, 7th week I don't go, 11th week I don't go, there are 3. You didn't take permission for each of them. The examiner or the instructor or the lecturer has a right to stop you from writing exam. We are saying that if you are absent 3 times without permission, you don't have the required knowledge to be able to write that particular examination. And so for that particular course, you will be deferred. And so you don't take that exam for that course. And if you don't take the exam and it is deferred, we'll come to a point where we see that there's an opportunity for reset. Once it is DF, most often you can't do the reset. You must do it within the main frame of the semester activity, either first semester or second semester. But you cannot say it's reset time, so I want to come and make up when it is a DF. Then in the same vein with a DF, I think I have another slide that will come up with that. You realize then that students will have an opportunity as you go on into the continuous years to defer. Within the first 4 weeks of the semester, you can defer your program without any reason. Subsequent to that, it needs to be medical, or you need to see the counselor, have a discussion what your problems are, and then we will receive advice as to whether to defer you or to advise you to stay on and continue with the program. But you take note that within the first 4 weeks, there's a window where you can defer without any reason. However, for first years, if it's not medical and for any reason you must defer, talk to your head of department. For some of you get admitted and you are working and you get immediately called on national assignments and the rest of them. There's the possibility, a window to defer. Then you can talk to your heads of departments to get the process through for you. Now, I've written the exam. I need to be graded. I just will take you through quickly how the grading is done. So for every course that you have registered already, you realize that for each course, there was a credit hour. The credit that is there is an indication of the strength of the course, the number of contact hours that you must have per week, as well as the content that needs to be covered within the period. So that gives us a weighting for every single course that the student will go through. And so I have Bio 151 as the first course. It is 3 credits. I score a mark of 58. This is weighted by multiplying the score by the credit hour. It gives us 174. So we do so through all the other courses, and then we sum up and get 741 as the total weighted mark for that particular semester. Then we sum up the credits as well for the whole semester, and that gives us the total credit for the semester. And then now we go through the division, and then it gives us the semester credit. So for us in the first semester now, at the end of this semester, what we'll be seeing will be the semester weighted average, the average for this semester alone. When we get into the second semester and we finish with the second semester, we'll be seeing semester weighted average, and then we'll also see a cumulated weighted average. And the cumulated weighted average telling you that it takes into account all the semesters you have done already, and it provides then your cumulated weighted average for you. Now, it's a very simple process, but strategically, let's see how you can do some of these things. This is for the second semester, and I've given an indication that second semester then gives you a semester weighted average, and together you can get your cumulative weighted average. But let's look at Bio 154, Bio 156, the credits and the scores. We'll come to look at how we can do some strategic learning as well when it comes to looking at the credits and how serious we should be with all our courses that we have. So, like I said, first semester, second semester will give you your weighted averages, then it gives you the cumulative weighted average. So at the end of your second semester, what you will be interested in as your grading at the end of your second semester usually will be the cumulated weighted average. And that is an indication of what you have done over the period. The truth is that when you have accumulated weighted average of 50.53, the indication is that if you take all the courses, you scored an average of 53 in all of them. So as you move forward, if you want to add 1 mark to improve on that CWA, the idea it gives is that you should be calculating in making scores that will give you excesses of 111 in all that you've done previously, so that your CWA can go up by 1. I'm telling you this for you to know that there is no time to waste. Right from day 1, start seriously. Even when you don't know why you are doing biochemistry, even when you don't know why you are doing food science or biology, be serious. As you go through the program, you get to second year, you get to third year, oh, it's good, the course is good. Let me now begin to do well. Then you realize that right from your first year, you are scoring 40, 30, and it becomes a huge task now for you to be able to improve on your average. So start working on your average now. Don't wait. Start working on your averages now. Right. So we took notice of the scores and the credits. And you realize then that here you have Bio 1543 credits. In an instance, the candidate scores 72, 156, 1 credit, the candidate scores 42. You work out, and then you realize then that the average for that one will usually then stand as a low score. When you do the multiplications, 3 by 72, 261. 1 by 42, it gives you 42. Now you switch them. 1 by 72 will give you a higher product than the 42 that you are seeing. Once you are getting a higher product, then it tells you that when we do the sum, it will go up. Meanwhile, the credit is not changing. The total credit is not changing. So if we do the summation of all the weighted scores, and it increases because you did well in your 3 credit hour paper compared to your 1 credit hour paper, then you are going to get a weighted average that is higher in the case where you did well in the 3 credit hour paper than the case where you scored a high mark in the 1 credit and a low mark in the 3 credit hour paper. So you take note of that. The credits are important, and it's supposed to help you with your strategic learning. At the end of it, you write supplementary exams if you are not able to make a pass mark of 40 or a pass mark of 50, whichever the case may be. And most often, after the second semester, there is a window that is open for supplementary examinations. It comes as part of the calendar for the academic year, and during the period, those that are trailing will have to come in and write the papers. And the important point then is that it goes with a fee, and the fee is usually determined year by year. For this past year, it was 50 cedis for a paper, and you will automatically be billed. You take note of that. You'll be automatically be billed, and to be added onto your fees for the next academic year. Let me take this opportunity to make a point. We have various categories after the supplementary when we are processing the results. There are various categories that we put students that are trailing in. You may be promoted, you may be repeated. But take note that whichever case that it is, as we stand now, if after supplementary exam you are trailing more than 2 courses, or your CWA is below 40, you don't proceed. You will have to repeat the year. If you are trailing more than 2 courses, and it's not 2 courses per semester, summation 2 courses for the academic year. Anything more than 2 courses, you repeat the year. CWA less than 45, CWA less than 40, you repeat the year. So make sure if you don't want to repeat, you don't trail, you do well as far as your CWA is concerned. So for the deferment, I've spoken about it already. First years will defer on medical grounds, and it's usually authenticated by the university. If there's any other reason why you have to defer, talk to your head of department. You talk to the appropriate officers, and then a decision can be made on that. If you get into other years, second year, usually we put you into a group we refer to as the continuing students, because you are no longer freshmen, you know our system. And in that case, 4 weeks of reopening, you have the permission to defer without any reason. But you must write to your head of department. You must get a response. Take note of that. You must get the response to that before you proceed on your deferment. So you write to your HOD, he will forward it through the dean, the decision is made, and then a letter is written back to you, either it's accepted or whatever, and then you can proceed on deferment. Don't just say, I've written, and then you disappear. Wait and get a response before you do so. So, as part of the processing of our results, we have a term that we refer to as probation, where the student is not too good. You allow the student to go to the next year, hoping that the student will improve. And students are usually put on probation when at the end of the supplementary examination, their CWAs are between 40 and 44.99. If even you are on the point, 44.99, you will go on probation. We will round it up to give you 45. We take cognizance of those two decimal places seriously. So you take note of that. So once you are within this range, you then be on probation. Now, if I have been on probation for the first period, I will stay in there, and it's expected that by the end of that second semester, if my CWA improves and goes above 45 or above, then I'll proceed, continue to proceed, but the probation tag is taken off. It means I've satisfied the condition. So my probation tag is then taken off, and then I proceed to the next year. But if you get on probation, and at the end of the second semester, your average still doesn't get to 45, then you repeat the class, because you are on probation for the second successive time. Once it is probation for second successive time, and here I underline the word successive. If you go on probation for first, second year, you are fine, you get into third year, and you get into the probation period again, you will go through. But if it is successive for the second time, then you repeat that particular year, irrespective of what scores you made. Once your CWA is still below 45, then you have to go on probation. You have to go on repetition. So for repetition, CWA less than 40 at the end of supplementary examination, normally you repeat. Trails more than 2 courses, I've said that again, after supplementary examination, you repeat. And then the probation for the second successive time. We take note here that the university has special approved fees for those that are repeating the year. So once you are repeating and you get to the accounts office, they'll give you information. Usually they will bill you as a repeating student, and then you get to know how much you are supposed to pay. Again, when you repeat the year, because we want you to do well, we don't keep the old scores that were low that made you repeat. We wipe out all the old scores for you for that particular year, and so it becomes a fresh start for you in the repeated year. So everything you did in that year is wiped off. And you repeat, and then we expect that you do much better on the second encounter, and then you can proceed with the program. Then we withdraw students who are absent from all courses for the semester's examination, except for cases where permission is sought. So somebody has gone through the semester and is sick during the period of examination. Correct documentation permissions are sought. Then in this case, we put eyes there. And then the student will have the opportunity to come and write the supplementary examination. So if you have any issues, usually ensure that you go through some documentation to get permission so that you are not withdrawn. However, when students are withdrawn, you also take note that based on the reasons, they can apply later for reinstatement. And that one goes to the office of the provost, And then it moves on. Recommendations are made. It moves on to the vice chancellor, and then decisions are made for the student to return. You don't withdraw, and then you just come back and sit in class. You must go through a procedure to receive you again into the class. So students have a fundamental right to query how their scripts are marked if they feel strongly that their results do not reflect their efforts. So I've written an exam. The marks are out, and I realize that what I've had is not commensurate with what I put in terms of my efforts. You have every right to go through the procedure for remarking. You write a letter through your head of department, through your dean, through the provost to the vice chancellor, requesting for remarking. Then the procedures are set in place. If it goes with a charge anyway, which is determined by the vice chancellor. If it goes for remarking and indeed you deserved more than what you had, it's credited to you. Whatever amount you paid is returned to you. If after the remarking, the scores that you had earlier was authentic, then it stays as it is. You lose the amount you paid for the remarking. So you have an opportunity for remarking. But my advice will be that once you realize that there is a problem with your score, you can also approach the examiner in a more polite manner. This is the score I have had. Sir, I think that this is not a reflection of my effort. Can you go through again and see? Let's get me satisfied whether this is my effort or not. You don't just walk straight, say, this is not my score, you have given me that. Naturally, if it's you, the only thing you will do is just to rebuff the students off. So just politely you can do that, engage the examiner, and then if you are still not satisfied, the guidelines are there, the opportunity is there for you to apply for remarking. Then the procedures will go through, and then whatever comes out, we follow it in terms of processing our results at the exams office. Now, for us, I've said already that we are a brand. Even within the University of Science and Technology, College of Science stands out in so many things, and we want to keep our heads above the water. We don't want to get worse from where we are. And as you are coming in, for lectures, for examinations, we are concerned about your dress code. We are not saying go look for money for expensive clothes. We are saying dress decently. And if you are still thinking through your mind what the decent dressing is, I have a few pictures here, and then you can see. The females, you can see them. The gentlemen, you see how they've dressed. Right. So these are some examples of students that are well-dressed for lectures. And most often I ask my students in class the first day I go, if I enter the class, canvas, baseball cap, shorts, singlet, and I just enter, or chalawati, slippers, I just enter, come and stand in front of you. Will you stop talking and even want to find out who the person is? You think I'm just one of you. You didn't see me as a lecturer. It gives an indication that for every occasion, it has a code. When I'm getting to the football field or the athletic field, I'm not a coach. I'm just going. And most often you see me coming in there with a suit. You say, who is this person here with a suit? There's a dress code for the football field. You go to the banks, there's a dress code in there. So what we are simply saying, there's a dress code for lectures and for examinations. And right through, we will start to do some enforcements with these. So if you are well dressed decently, you are fine, you are good to go. Let's see the next slide. So you can see it here. Tattered jeans. Then exposing your vital parts. You come to the lecture, you are sitting next to your friend, and you want to cover your ties. Why wouldn't you wear something that will already give you a covering? But when you are sitting, you are trying to now pull it down to cover yourself. Don't give yourself extra weight. When you dress this way for exams, be sure we'll sack you to go and dress properly before you come and sit in the exam room. And I'm sure for lectures as well, we'll be doing same. So you have an idea what it is in terms of decent dressing, in terms of indecent dressing. So the choice is yours. Whether you want to come so that we sack you, you go and change, or you want to do it properly. And the guys, colored hair for the guys, take note of that. Track suits with singlets for lectures, take note of that. Slippers, take note of that. These are not generally acceptable as formal dress codes for lectures. Right, so in processing and assessing results, is a team that works on that. And notable amongst all of us as faculty doing that, we have a college exams officer, myself. We have the faculty exams officer, I think he's here, Prof. Caleb from Paul. He's our faculty exams officer. And then we have various departments or program exams officers. So for every program, you have your exams officer. And that is where it starts from. When issues come, try to look for your department exams officer. You are not getting him. You are not satisfied. Faculty exams officer is available. You are not okay with it. College exams officer is available. Or you are not finding any one of them. Faculty is available. College is available. We are open to you to help you enjoy our system as we help in the processing of your results and addressing the problems that you face. And let me make one more point. When you have issues, don't wait till the last day. Sometimes when decisions have already been made before you come up with the problems. You go to class. First week, lecturer is not there. Second week, lecturer is not there. Third week, lecturer is not available. You don't report. Then when you have to write exam, oh, the lecturer hasn't come at all. As soon as it continues, 1, 2, draw our attention so that we can begin to take steps to correct that. Don't wait sometimes when you have written the exam already. Then you begin to cry. We didn't see the lecturer. He came only once. It was only the TA who was coming to teach us. When the problems, you begin to see them, draw our attention, let's resolve them. Let's not wait till the end before we try to resolve the problems that we have. Exams officers have their doors open to receive your complaints as well and to help you through as far as it is related to examinations. Thank you. If you have any questions, you can ask and then we try to answer them. Any questions, please? Yes.
So if you like to ask questions, you raise up your hand. I bring the mic to you.
Studio B, do you have any questions? Studio B, any questions from your end, please?
Good morning once again. Please, I'm Henry. So I wanted to ask, assuming a person gets 40 in one of his courses, and the person is not satisfied with that mark, although the 40 is a pass mark, and the person still wants to write one of the supplementary exams, is that one allowed?
That is not allowed. We don't do replacement of scores. We do updates. So if you write and you are not satisfied, like I said earlier on, get to the lecturer, be sure this is your mark. If you are not satisfied, go for a mark. And if the score changes, we update it appropriately. But we don't do substitution of marks, please. Any other? Yes, there's someone here. Okay, let's hear the gentleman, whoever is behind there.
Yes. Anyone?
Well, there's a lady here, please. Let's get a question.
Thank you. Sir, please, my name is Dorinda. Sir, please, with the issue concerning the lecturers not coming to class, I have heard and I have seen an official notice from the University Association of Teachers saying they are going on strike. So I want to know how as students is going to affect us with our lectures and everything.
The lecturers belong to an association. And when they have grievances, it goes through their leadership to get it addressed. Just the same as students, you also have the departmental associations, you have the college associations, you have the SRC. So when you have grievances and it goes through the leadership, for us as lecturers, right, we are employed by somebody. So we negotiate with the person for what we have. We negotiate for what the problems are, right? So we sit and then we talk. And once we have leadership, we go by what the leadership instructs. So if in any instance, any group within the university goes on strike, it is a recognized thing that this group is on strike. So it doesn't fall within the remit of reporting that we have been there, this lecturer is not there. But when you know that teaching is in session and the person is not reporting to class, then you have every right to make your complaint. But the major point is that when a group is on strike, the university recognizes that these people are not available, and most often, various groups will be talking to make sure whatever situation it is rectified. But we take note also of the fact that within the university, it also has regulations. The university will not also sit down for students to sit for 2 months when nobody is teaching them. So we have periods where if lectures are not taking place, the university takes a decision whether the students go home or stay on. But these are administrative issues and fall within the remit also of the registrar. So I think the registrar will make a point on that as well. Studio B. There's Studio C as well, right? Hello. Studio C. Right, if you are ready up there, you can ask, please.
Please, no question over here.
So,
thank you very much, Professor Labi. I'm
I'm sure when it came to examinations, we had many questions, and you had answers. Yes, the issue about the strike. Yes, UTAG is on strike. I know what you know what UTAG is. What is it? University Teachers Association of Ghana. Yes, they are on strike. For now, we don't know the future. Okay, but that is not to scare you. Don't run home. Stay. But the university will keep you updated as to what to do on the notice boards or whatever platform. So just remain calm. I'm sure something is being done. So just rest assured everything will be fine. Before Mrs. Piazza comes, please, let's get up. Yes, get up, sit down 2-3 times. But make sure you don't pull the mask down. I saw somebody in B or C. When he realized the camera was on him, he quickly pulled it up. Please, it's to cover the nose and mouth. Don't copy what I'm doing here. I just want to remain clear. That is why I have removed it. And since there is a distance, I think it is fine. No, get up, please, get up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then Mrs. Piazza comes. Good. And then maybe you raise the hands, do some stretching. Good. I hope you are enjoying the session, right? Good. From here, whatever questions you have, you keep asking, and answers will be provided. Good. So please be seated. Thank you very much. I would now invite Mrs. Piazza to take us through the counseling support services, the student support desk that we have in the college. So let's welcome Mrs. Piazza with a clap.
To you, Studio A, B, and C. Good morning. Okay, you see, it's in an afternoon. Are we in 12 or it's still morning? Okay, it looks like you need some snacks. I want to assure you that those are available at the back, and so we'll make it snappy so that you take your snacks. Is that all right? So turn to a neighbor and say, neighbor, keep cool. And stay awake and alert. All right. I stand on protocols standing, and I want to engage you for this short time. And I pray that you pick up a few hints to make your stay very fruitful. Now, we are glad you are here. And I think you're already enjoying your environment and your college. I represent the counseling center. Though I'm the college counselor, I also represent the counseling center in this university. And so I'm here to give a presentation as to what we do and to assure you of our unflinching support for the 4 years that you're going to spend in this university. And the day you graduate, you'll be smiling. We'll be smiling with you. All right, so how many of you have been to the Dean of Students premises already, the J. Harper building? At the commercial area. Any of you? Did you go there to register to get your accommodation? Show by hand, please, if I've been there already. Okay, a lot of hands are down. I don't know whether it's a touring factor to this orientation, because you must know your bearings. So what you see here is the front part of the counseling center. It is housed in the J. Harper building. at the commercial area. We call the place the Dean of Students premises. And when you make a visit to the place, you will see our location. Is this working? Is this supposed to be working? All right, so. I can only see myself. What should I be seeing? Okay. So, the counseling center, I dropped my marks because the counselors, we are not many. If you miss your provost, at least you should recognize my face when you need help. Is that okay? Good. It is the counseling center is a mental health facility. When I say mental health facility, it means that we are not just an administrative wing. We see to the needs of people, the holistic makeup of a person, and we believe that a good mind resides in a good body. And so we take care of your mental health. Without that, all that has been said, all the courses and exams, everything that's been said, will be difficult if you don't have a sound mental status to advance your stay in the university. Are you helping me get back my slides? Good. And so we collaborate with other units in the university to see to your well-being. Now, between 2019, for some years, we were under the registry, the office of the registrar, and then we came under the Dean of Students, and by the year 2016, we had become a center. They used to call us a unit, but now we are a center because we are an autonomous institution, or say a facility or a department of the university. Just so that we can see to the well-being of students, staff, and their dependents, and the general public as well. Because of that, we have a vision and we have a mission. In our mission, we believe that mental health is pivotal to every person's academic, personal, social life. And therefore, our vision is to provide quality health, mental health services to all students. Not only students, to the whole community of KNUST. But the center is you. Because without you, the staff don't have a job, neither do they have any quest to be around. So our primary focus is to ensure that you are mentally sound and that you are on top of your health issues and you are surviving and surviving well. Is that all right? Is that good news? So if you have any issues psychologically, know that the counseling center is mandated to support you in that direction. Now, the center is staffed with professional clinical psychologists and counseling psychologists. I am a counseling psychologist. There are some of the cases you will need a clinical psychologist to attend to you. The difference between us is that a clinical psychologist can give a diagnosis of a health issue and suggest a prescription, but cannot enforce it till you go to the hospital for a medical doctor to confirm and ascertain. We, the counseling psychologists, we do more of in-person engagement, looking at distressing issues, and we do what we call talk therapy. So we don't give medicines. We don't issue out medications for your ailment or issues, but we would refer you to the appropriate practitioners. We collaborate with the psychiatrists, the doctors, nurses, and everyone who is related with mental health issues, and then they will see to your need. But what we primarily do is to do talk therapy. We talk through things and then you get relief from your stressful situation. So I said that 2016, so it became a center. Can I have the pointer? Good. So that's a little brief history about us. Do I have only a single? I don't have a single slide on that. What is happening? Is it from my end or yours? So I was somewhere here, and I've also mentioned this. We promote health, the environment. I've also talked about our mission and vision. Right. And I think I've moved on from here to talk about staff capacity. So a section of us are here, not all of us. We are about... We're 7. Now we have 3 more joining us. There's 1 counselor now at Title Boise campus, and 2 more are joining the staff here. So we're number 9. And if you look at the staff strength and the student numbers on campus, you see that we are overwhelmingly outnumbered. But we try our best to serve in our capacity as much as possible. Every college has a counselor attached. So I happen to be your college counselor. All the other colleges also have counselors. And we have offices at both the college and the center. And as I mentioned, the center is located at the Dean of Students premises. So as I said, in addition to our staff strength, we have people we call skilled helpers. Some senior members, lecturers, administrators, have also volunteered to learn a few counseling skills to help as a first-line provider of some sort at your faculty levels. There are not many. We certify them, and then they also work to support our work in providing mental health services to all of you at the colleges. So when you enter into an office and you realize that the person is talking to you about something to do with your health and your mental status, it is because he or she might have passed through this program and is offering you a service. All right. We also have people we call peer counselors. Now, peer counselors, do you have any of peer counselors around? Yeah, you can turn and wave at them. Or come quickly to the front, run to the front. They are wearing some of my cloth. We have, they are a subsidiary of the center. They are continuing students who also are trained in some counseling skills. So this is one of the peer counselors. Others are in the other Studio B and C. Do you have peer counselors with you there? I hope so. So they volunteer to be trained, and they are with you at the faculty in your colleges, and they are able to identify when you need counseling help. They first of all see to what they can do with you. If it's beyond them, they make referrals to us. Thank you very much. They sometimes are also in their T-shirts, red and white. You see them during the week as they go. So I'm saying that they refer cases to us. They also visit the hospitals. They do case management. When you are on admission, they will come, identify you, and bring us reports on you. And then we will follow up and see to your needs. They are assigned to monitor the halls. During the semester, you see that they will be visiting your halls, both on campus and off campus. They group themselves in such a way that they're able to visit and interact with you. And if you need counseling help, they will make the referral. At the end of the year or the semester, they submit reports of all that they do. So they are closely monitored, and we build their capacity as and when necessary, consistently, so that they can support us in our work. As I've already said, our numbers are very few. All right. And they do their work strictly, in fact, all of us, both professional and peer counselors, we adhere to confidentiality and privacy. When you are in my office, nobody can enter there. There are always indicators to show that you cannot enter this room. Counseling is ongoing. And so you have the privacy to talk to the counselor about anything you need, anything that bothers you, or even if it's just a conversation, you're also welcome to have. So we have designed our practices to suit your needs, no matter who you are. So who can be a peer counselor? Continuing students are peer counselors. So at the end of the second semester, we will float forms for you we advertise that if you are interested to become a peer counselor, you apply, and then you are screened, you are commissioned, and when you are in second year, you function as one of them. Now, what are the services provided by KCC? KCC, that counseling, KNUST Counseling Center, KCC for short. We provide individual counseling therapy. So you come and we engage you on any subject that concerns you, whether home issues. So we have family, we even have family and group therapy. If you need to speak to somebody, you and your boyfriend, the one you have just picked, ask your neighbor, are you the one we are talking about? Because the way you are quiet. Studio B and C, you are part of the conversation. And you don't understand what is happening. I'll come to that soon. You come and then we sort the issues out. We provide counseling training programs for all student leadership. Whichever group you are, association, whatever, the skilled helpers program that is under our purview, we provide that. We are invited all over. When we have the time, we slot in some general public issues, and we provide training. We give psychoeducational seminars and workshops. In the course of the semester, we will invite all of you for a psychoeducational program to welcome you and help you to adjust. Apart from the orientation, the counseling center does that as well. We also provide counseling, career counseling. Some of you may not even know what you want to do after you have gotten your certificate. Don't let that become an issue. Come and let's talk about it. Your job prospects, where to fit yourself. Counseling will help resolve all those uncertainties. And so we do what we call, we also do this program once in an academic year. We call it the Annual Counseling and Emotional Health Awareness Week. We set a week aside where we talk to students, we engage you like what we are doing. We have a program in place. We invite people, renowned counselors, to come and talk to us, or we ourselves do presentations on every topic that is necessary for the well-being of the students. So look out for that. And then we have, we support persons with disability. Now, if you know anyone who has a disability, there are so many forms. Some of us may even have disability, but because we can't see with our eyes, you think you don't have a problem. But some may be the sight, others are physical, others are mental, whichever, and especially those who see physically. Please help them access support from the Dean of Students office. There's an office located, there's a desk cited specially for them. So in your halls and in your homestels, if you have people who have some form of disability, encourage them to access that service. The number of the president is what I've captured there. So you can take a snapshot, or you can take it now to help somebody one day. If you find somebody unable to climb a stair or unable to move around, and the person needs special help, this is where you go. And the desk is at the DOS, the Dean of Students office. Still on the services, We provide crisis management. We believe that in life, there are times that you enter into crisis. It can be financial crisis. How many of you are having financial crisis already? Okay, no hands went up. We thank God. So you are sorted out, and you are ready to go. But if you have any crisis, there are times that you have traumatic experiences. You have some armed robbery issues at your hostels, or you have been told about security issues. But for some reason, if you find yourself a victim, rape victim, robbery, accident, or bad news, you hear some bad news from home, that disorients you, please, do not pack your things and run away from the university. Find your counselor's office. Come and let's talk about it. Especially when it comes to relational issues, which is a segment of my presentation. Those of you already have become wives and husbands on campus. All right. So career development, placement, we do all these. We help students come to terms with their career issues. If you want to know how to prepare your CVs and all that, please locate us. So our location, as I've said, is at the J. Harper building at the commercial area. Take a tour. It is important to know the Dean of Students office, because that is where all issues about students are resolved. And we are within the premises. So when you go around, take your time and take a step into the J. Harper building. Please take a snapshot of this. Take your phone and take a snapshot of this particular slide. On it, you have the hotline for the counseling center, and you have our website. The peer counselors also have some social handles. They will engage you. They engage you most of the time on what FM? Focus FM, eh? It's a campus FM. 94.3. Which days? Mondays and Thursdays in the evening. Yes. So you tune in and then you listen to them. They will give you a lot of directives. All right. Are you done with the screen shooting? Studio B and C, you are part of the conversation. So I hope you have taken your snapshots. All right. Let me go forward. We call it ourselves your safe haven. So whenever you need a place of refuge, please run to KCC. So once again, I want to welcome you to KNUST. I'm sure that you are in this picture. Check your neighbor, whether it is your neighbor who is in the picture. Do you see yourself there? Are you happy to be around? So I want to congratulate you one more time. Studio A and B, you are also welcome. Now, apart from that, you see that you have a broad smile. You are still, some of you are still carrying the SHS mentality, eh? You are still in SHS. Look what's coming. And I'm sure your facial expression has already changed, as we see on the screen. It means that you are going to go through adjustment. And there are certain things that you are used to, which you have to refine, renew, or discard totally. And become an independent, assertive, grown-up student who must take good care of himself or herself. Some of you have been hiding behind your mother's skirts for a long time. Now you have come to the reality that you have to provide your own food. Some of you are already tired of eating cocoa every morning, but you have no choice. I will say cocoa. Your mother would throw a party for you, a buffet every morning, but here you are on your own. It is good to go through that experience. So when you see this, don't be scared, because as you ask yourself, from where do I go? You have a place to go. I'm going to give you a few tips that helps you to adjust and move on and enjoy your university life. Is that okay? Are you ready for that? Good. Now, we have what we call the Student Support Desk, which is a new desk or unit or facility instituted by the Provosts. You will find them at the Office of Grants. It's just on this floor when you exit. If you throw your eyes around, you will see a pull-up stand somewhere depicting. And this is put in place to sort you out on many issues. So here we have your welfare. The first one is to seat your welfare and personal and academic issues. When you enter into the office, you have somebody there to see to that. Provide you referral services. So some of the issues or your problems, when you step into that office, they will say, go and see the counselor, or go and see the registrar, or go and see the exams officer, or go and see somebody. They direct you depending on what your problem is. It is to assist you to seek funding and scholarships with, from the college. If you are eligible for that, you go to that office, and if you have challenges and you need scholarship, the Student Support Desk, SSD for short, will help you with that. Then they serve to a point for lost and found things. Most of times, you see that people have just dropped their bags, especially during exams week, and you forgot to take your notebook back with you. And you realize that the next morning you have a paper which the notes are inside that notebook that you left behind. You become very hot. Where do you find that? Where did you leave your laptop? Things like that. You step into that office, and I'm sure when you go and request, you'll be helped to find that. Providing answers to all student inquiries and assisting to secure sponsorship for educational programs. So the desk, it will be very visible on the ground floor for you to access when you need that support. Another area that is going to help you to fit into your environment, I call it time management. It is very important to manage your time. You have only 24 hours, just as everybody has. But there's so much. Did you see the pile of books you are going to read now? So you have to divide your time well and use it judiciously to cover all that is expected of you. And so let's look at some of the ways to do that. So I said that it is effective use of time so that you can get the most out of available time. And available time for you is 24 and not 26 and not 27, neither 30. So if we're thinking that we are going to have more than 24 hours, please, it is only 24. How do you use it? So it is a matter of planning and organizing your tasks to increase effectiveness, efficiency, and be productive, not oversleeping, not wasting time on a lot of things. So what are some of the practical ways to manage your time? Because the student life it comprises a lot of activities. And you see that some of your activities are urgent but not important. What activity can be urgent but not important? So you can be in a lecture room and somebody is calling you. Do you have to, is that urgent? You look at the person who is calling, sometimes even a strange number. Somebody at the ECG trying to look for the fire service, and then your number is the one you called. You got up to go and answer just to know that you wasted time. You missed a very important submission by the lecturer. So things that are not important but urgent, you can hold on and see to them later. Some are important but not urgent. You have to find a means to know the difference between all these. Now, if you can't know the difference or you cannot make the difference out yourself, that's why the counselor is there. You come, we talk about that. In that way, we look at some practical ways to manage your time. The first one is plan in advance. This morning, as we're entering into the hall, at the Studio B or C, someone asked a lady who had not ironed her dress, and she was entering to go and sit down. And then when we asked her why she didn't iron her dress, she said she was in a hurry. And I said, okay, but what about last night? Before sleeping, were you in a hurry? So if you plan your life well, you can do a lot of things before you sleep, so that in the morning when you are coming for lectures, you don't rush. Plan in advance. Plan your time well. This will help you to make the best out of your time. So you must have a calendar, must have a diary that you can plan your life well. Plan out your tasks and follow the plan as well. Don't just draw it up and hang it up and forget about it. Draw it well. All right? And then in pursuing your time, overcome procrastination. How many of you know that procrastination is a thief of time? Good. So you don't allow any thief into your life. And you can be the means by which the thief has come. You yourself, you facilitate the stealing of your time. By procrastinating and postponing a lot of things that should be done, your assignments, your projects, your classwork, discussions. If you stretch your body on the bed and you want a certain convenient time, you may not have it. So try as much as you can not to procrastinate. If there's something that must be done, do it now and don't say later, because later may never come. Good. Now, when we move from there, we want to say create a to-do list. How many of you have done this before? You have written down from morning to evening what you want to. I want to see by hand whether it's a practice. Okay, many hands are down. Please learn that task. Sometimes before you sleep, you can estimate the things you want to do the next day. You list them down and you follow it. When you do that, you can now cross out some things that may be urgent but not important, important and not urgent, and you'll be able to manage your time very well. Don't do last minute things, because everything you have to do is within that 24 hours that you have. All right? Now determine whether you learn at night or you learn in the evening or at dawn. Are you a rooster? Are you a bird? Birds go early to bed and they wake up early the next morning. Some stay in the night. Are you a night person or a day person? Look out for who you are. Don't just follow what others do, so that you can actualize and use your time well. Sometimes you want to follow what your roommates are doing. They'll put their feet into water, drinking plenty coffee, and you are following the same thing. You just get an ailment of a sort if you do that. So don't just follow people. Watch out for what you can do and do well. And I say also be flexible, but realistic. Yes. So your timetable may be too strong, and you may not be able to follow it. Look at as the semester is ongoing, look at how the course load is coming. Most of the courses will be introductory courses. And as you are getting to the middle of the semester, you realize that things are becoming hectic. Then you are adjusting the time. If you gave 3 hours for sleeping in the day as a nap, you may have to reduce it to 1.5 or 30 minutes, knowing that you don't have all the time to sleep. So adjust your study plan dynamically. Be realistic. And then if you have challenges in doing this, that is why the counselor is there. You come and they will help you out. We also want to look at creating good study habits. A good study habit will help you to be abreast with your studies, so you do not lose time on contact hours. Your contact hours are your lecturing hours, times that you sit under the feet of your lecturers. And you have a good study habit. You divide your time across the day. You have time for the library, you have time for your group discussions, you have time for individual studies, you have time to go on the line and search for more information. It is important to devise good study habits. Now, in doing so, visit the library often. You plan to have your studies at the same time. Your body will be conditioned to respond to certain prompt and stimulus if you do the same thing over and over again. And so at a certain time in the day, you realize that even if you want to sleep, the sleep won't come, because you have already tuned yourself that time is for studies. And it's a good thing to get yourself conditioned in certain ways. All right, so when you do all these things, they help you to keep up with your academic work and keep your study area just for studying and not for conversation and not for gossiping and not for WhatsApping and going on social handles. So if your bed is your place of study, you make it so. If it's a table, you make it so. When you interchange, your body will get the wrong signals, and you realize that you are struggling to keep awake when it's time to study. So create good study habits. And then I also want to say that avoid time wasters. Even as we are with you, I know some of you are on WhatsApp, some of you are on Facebook. Check your neighbor. Just do a cursory check for me and see what are they doing. Are they with us or they're outside? Or you yourself, you want to report yourself that you are not paying attention. So time wasters, idleness, misuse of leisure time. All that we are saying is that pay attention to this engagement because they will help you to adjust well. And in so doing, avoid time wasting. Be mindful that the actions you take today will bring you success or failure one day. So set your priorities right and do more with the little time you have. What is your priority? Your education, your academic work. Give it your full attention in this university. If you have time to talk to the counselor about this because you don't know what to do, that is why we are talking. Visit our office and we'll help you and sort you out. Continue with this. We are talking about focusing on one thing at a time. Please, if you are a student, be a student. Don't become a wife, a stepmother, a concubine, a secretary. What else do you want to do? A mother. Some of you want to get certificate for graduation, marriage certificate, and then even birth certificate for your children before you leave this campus. Why? So focus on one thing at a time, and I believe that you will do well. If you're multitasking, it's good, but make sure that what you are doing is productive. Right? So you start early. Early means that the moment the lecturers are back in class, you have started your learning. There's nothing like I'm waiting till the end of the semester before I start learning. That is what it means. And I recommend rest. That is why I'm a mental health practitioner. I recommend rest. I recommend time from breaks away from tasks and lot of work. Because all work and no play, put your name there. All work and no play. And all play and no work. You don't want to respond to that one. So find time, enjoy yourself, and learn wholesome habits. Sometimes get to be with friends. And when it's the weekend and you need some rest, why not? You can do that right inside your room with your roommates if you don't want trouble. If you don't want trouble. I'm not recommending that go and get a date and we find you at no. So find your roommates and then you can engage yourself in some relaxing activities. All right. Now, the best part is this. If you cannot do great things, do small things in a great way. That's why I say start early. Start early. Start learning early. Set your goals. What kind of CWA do you want? You start now. Do it in small ways, in segments. You see that you will reach there. Okay. In finishing this, there's one aspect I want to add, and then I will be done. Now, everybody has a social life. Where you connect with others. Isn't it so? Has there been some connections already? You know. Why are you thinking about that only one thing? I'm talking about, have you met your roommate? Have you met the provost? Have you met the director? That's also part of your social life. When we talk about one thing, you are thinking about just one thing. Studio B and C, are you there? Yeah, but it's important. You know, your social life, one of the things I want to mention is that it is important to be a nice person. Be a nice person. Be a person with etiquette. Be a person who is polite. Greet your roommate. If something is happening to you, they are the ones who will sort you out. If you are in a hostel and you are so chichis, you don't greet anyone. When somebody is beating you, those boys that you didn't greet, they are the ones who will come and sort you out. We are not saying that just you'd be loose, but be polite and exercise etiquette. Is that okay? As well, are you courteous? Are you courteous? Do you have courtesies? Do you know how to say thank you? Do you know how to say sorry when you offend people? When you barge into somebody, do you apologize? Or you rather say, excuse me. And you know, let us do things that will make people want to help us in times of our need. Now, in addition to that, a few points are here. Develop healthy relationships. And healthy relationships can be with your family, with your friends, And with this particular one, see the way it has bounced down to you. Yeah, so we expect you to be updating your parents as what is happening. When you are having challenges, let them know. When you have friends, look at how you relate with them. I've mentioned that. And if you, because we know that some of you, anyway, I would say some of you, I believe everybody is here in his or her right as a matured person. Isn't it so? You are above 17, and some of you are 18 years. So the Constitution of the land grants you what? Maturity status. Meanwhile, with that, we putting food on the table, you don't eat. So what do you say you are matured of? The maturity is about what? The gray hairs and the pubic hairs that are growing in places. Hey, check your neighbor. Are you an adult? Okay, if you're an adult, then you have to be responsible for people that you engage with. So let me talk a little about relationships, because it's very important. But before I get there, look at these indicators of a healthy relationship. This is universal. It cuts across. When you feel good about yourself with people you engage with, then you are in a good relationship. The moment people make you feel inferior, they make you feel substandard, they make you feel that you do not count, and you are always afraid to engage them, that relationship is not good. You have to address yourself and look at something else. When there's genuine understanding between you and the people you engage, your roommates, or even people in certain amorous relationships, once there's understanding between you, and there's always, a kind of calm and relational comfort, then we say that you are in a good relationship. Another one is equal investment in time, self, and resources. I brought this in because I know, and it has come to us severally, that boys come to pick wives in the university. A student came and said, "Madam, I do everything for him. I do everything. Just yesterday, he slapped me just because he said I didn't iron his shirt well. After cooking and doing all other encomiums, you wash his shirt for him, and the ironing, the straight line didn't come, so he slapped you." Watch out. Any relationship where the investment of these three things are imbalanced is not a healthy relationship. You see that you are the one forcing to get the guy's attention. You are always the one cooking for him to come and eat. The little money you've been given, you are just spreading it in front of him. Watch out. It's not a good investment. Investment of time, resource, studying, and all that, and you feel safe and secure with whoever you are with. If you are able to dialogue, life is full of, sometimes there are ups and downs, misunderstandings will come. But are you able to resolve them? Or there's always trouble, conflict. You are always angry with each other. That relationship is abusive, it's unhealthy. Move out of that. So what will be the indicators of a healthy relationship? Where there is no, where there's no warmth, affection, connection, and laughter, then you realize that relationship, it is not good. You're always crying. You go back to your room with tears. There's no resolution after conflicts. Emotional responsibility is absent. You are not accepted as who you are. He wants you to be something else. We have ladies who put on certain attire, as we were talking about, Prof, that they come to class with certain dressings. Some ladies are forced to wear certain things their boyfriends are commanding them to wear. And we have cases where they buy the things for them to wear. Obi buy a school. The boy with a mustache like broomsticks, haphazardly hanging under his chin. He comes to now run your life. And the other side is also true. We have girls who are also worrying their boys. So it's not just one side. So watch out for that. Studio B and C, are you there? All right. And so when there is no joy and happiness in that relationship, there's always conflict, there's always depression, there's always crying. Come to the counselor's office and let us talk about it. You may have to defect from that relationship. It is important. We need you alive, healthy, and we need you to pass your exams properly without having a broken heart. Now, it's a part of the courtesies in social life. It's about good grooming grooming. Good grooming. Good grooming. So a lot has been said about your dressing. But watch yourself. You see this person, it might be you, it might be somebody you know, it might be somebody else knows. If you enter into a room and you see these reactions, and you cause somebody to get COVID in addition, weapon of mass destruction, the moment you enter into a room, it's like everybody must die. Watch it. Watch how you smell. It's important. It's part of your grooming. Are you with me? Some of the roommate issues come as a result of some of these things. You will never wash your boxes, and you have gone to buy the colors that doesn't show that they are dirty. Red, dark green, dark blue, indigo, those dark brown that is also dark. So when they are dirty, we don't see. How can you wear a brassiere for 1 week without washing? Or wear a boxer for 3 days? The young men the young people here, the young men. There's always a shaking after the weeing. There's always a shaking. They are quiet. Isn't there a shaking after the weeing? When you go and finish weeing, is there shaking? The sister guys, do you understand there's a shaking? But there's always some drops left. Am I right? They don't want to respond. So how can you wear a boxer 2 days, 3 days? And what's that you to fist account? So watch out. Good grooming is part of your social responsibility towards your friends. So manage your mood swings. Look at these faces. Which of them belong to you? Or which of them do you like to wear all the time? Are you the joker of the class? Are you confused? Why are you always sad? Which of them would you prefer? Work towards that. If you find yourself in those you don't like, see the counselor. What is it about? We can talk about it and resolve the issues. Good. I'm almost there. Now this part is important because I call it the January rush. Now look at these pictures. It tells a story. All right. Relationships are bad, people are pairing up, there are a lot of smiles. Infatuations are going on. In fact, people are falling in love. Already there's some fumbling and kissing. Is it happening to your neighbor? It's not you. You ask your neighbor. Are you the one? Are you the one they're talking about? People are happy. Oh, there's a lot of jubilation. It's in January, Everything looks glossy. Everything looks nice. Everything looks like, you are walking on the moon. Now let's look at this one. By December, you see that my office, there's a long queue of people who are coming. And because December will tell another story. Are they happening? What is happening? Conflict. The foundation was not right. And so you see that people are not happy. Then what happens? There's another story here. Broken relationships, broken heart. This morning we caught people happily. Say, what did you say you saw? I said, I'll call you to come in. What did you? Happily copulating. Happily. Students, first year students, instead of coming for orientation, when you're kunu, or be watching ankwa. Near there, Warban, or ye be no pay, yakochino. So you see, the foundation is wrong. So hearts begin to bleed. Tears are falling. And then there comes some office, crisis management. Me, when you come, do you know what I'll do? This one. I'll find a needle and try and sew the broken heart so that you can continue your education. I will send you home. And I won't allow you to go and commit suicide as well. You have no right to harm yourself. Who is saying, you will remain and learn. Your parents have paid the school fees. You think we'll allow you to go home? So guard your heart. Emotional barriers. Create emotional barriers for yourself. Do not allow anybody to mess around with your heart, with your body. Protect it, whether you are male or female. It is your right to keep your body healthy. Do not put into it things that harm you. including drugs and all those things. Please, your social life is your own responsibility with assistance from us. Thank you. All right. So we pray that we don't have to go through this issue of having your heart broken. Do you pledge to yourself that you protect your heart? I didn't hear the response properly. Studio B and C, are you there? Protect your heart well. Do not let anybody mess up with you. I say it for both sides because we have had males who have also been very bullied by some females. Okay. So we are saying that seek help. Our doors are opened, and whenever you walk into it, a counselor is ready to listen. We are ready to hear what you are saying, and best of all, we help to carry your load so that you adjust and enjoy your stay. So I have the conclusions to come to say that what's the way to go? It starts with you. You are here. You are my student. You are my client. It starts with you. How do you want to go through your life? Only you can set your priorities and boundaries to be able to adjust to your life on campus and have the success that you want. And so I like that pledge you've made to yourself. In concluding, I have a few things to say. I want to look at this and say, you see, we all have dreams, eh? So, but dreams are not those which comes while we are sleeping. But dreams are those when you don't sleep before fulfilling them. We want you to be awake to fulfill your dreams of graduating and graduating well. Now, the second one reads, can we read together? Everywhere you are, you can see. Let's read together. Go. Dream, dream, dream. Oh. Are you for us or against us? Okay, let's read again. Dream, dream, dream. Dreams transform into thoughts, and thoughts result in action. I see you getting there, putting your thoughts into action and graduating beautifully. So you see, one day, you'll be there, and you'll be surprised that you graduated beautifully. We all come and then congratulate you because it is possible. We want to say that the day you throw up your cape, we'll be there to say, let's read this together. Go. Some people succeed because they are destined, but most because they are determined. Which of them are you? God bless you for listening. All right. So a grade A student, I believe you'll be there. All you need to do is to stay positive and make your mark. With this, I am sure I'm done. So thank you for listening. There's a last slide. Please give me the screen. Give me the screen again. I want them to pick this. Yes. I want you to pick this one. Take a screenshot of my contact number and my room number. It's at the very top of this building. It's called TF35. And don't lose your way whenever you need to see me. God bless you. All right. Please, I'm done.
Another round of applause for Mrs. Piasa. Yes, on the bill is the Students' Loan Trusts. I'm sure funds are very, very critical for your studies. So we have some officials here to talk to us about the Students' Loan Trust. Please, let's welcome them.
Good afternoon to you all. Please, my name is Elijah, Manager for Student Loan Trust Fund, Ashanti. I'm here on behalf of government to give you a brief talk about our financial assistance to tertiary students. As you are all aware, we are coming from different homes. Some are lucky to come from privileged homes. Others are coming from less privileged homes. And for that matter, we do not want the issue of finance to distract you in your course of study. Student Loan Trust Fund is an agency under the Ministry of Education and Finance that has been mandated by government to offer out financial assistance to tertiary level students in the form of loans. We have 3 core objectives. We disburse the loan out to students during your long and difficult stay on campus. Secondly, we recover the loans when they are due repayment. And lastly, we try as much as possible to sustain the trust fund so the future generations can benefit. Currently, as I talk to you, we have served over 100,000 Ghanaian students, both public and private. We do not only serve KNUST students, we serve the whole tertiary institution in Ashanti region, though our office is on your campus. So let's take note of that. Yes. Now, what are the requirements or qualifications before you can get a loan? These are government of Ghana money, and for that matter, you should be a Ghanaian before you can access the student loan. We do not give our monies out to foreigners because these are taxpayers' monies. Let's take note of that. Secondly, you should be offered admission to study in an accredited tertiary institution. KNC, we have no problem with you people. The last one is the program you are offering should be GTEC or NAP accredited before you can access the loan. If your program is not accredited, there's no way we would give you our money. Now, what are the requirements? Unlike the past, you needed a guarantor before you could access the loan. But last year, this year, and going forward, that has changed because there's a new government policy. Now, before you access the loan, you will need to get a Ghana card because that's now the national ID card that we are all using going forward. So if you don't have one and you want to access the student loan, I advise you to get one before we open application at the ending of the month. Second, you will need to get your student ID card or admission letter. That's the proof that you are a student, even though at early next month, the school will be furnishing us with a list of all the students offering undergraduate programs. Whether you're on the loan or you're not on the loan, they give us the entire school list. So let's take note of that. So if your name is under the school list, there's no way you can access the loan because you are not a student. Now the last one is you need to get an eSwitch account before we can get it for you. eSwitch is very simple. It's an electronic payment platform, unlike the bank. So let's say in the past, we used to pay the monies through the bank account system. When we pay the monies, it takes 2 weeks before the banks will now forward it to the students' accounts. So we have to now put a stop to it and now go in for the eSwitch. So with the eSwitch, when we make the payment today at 12 o'clock and some few seconds, you can access it because it's electronic. So let's take note of that. If you don't have one, when you go to the commercial areas, most of the banks, they do it. Or when you go to Gate, there's an Access Bank. I've spoken to them. They have enough cards. They can equally assist the students get the eSwitch card. Now, how much can we then give out to students? Please, this one is just a social intervention. We are not in to pay your school fee in full. Let's take note of that. And for that matter, the minimum we can give out to a student is 1,500 Ghana cedis for an academic year, and the maximum is 3,000 Ghana cedis. So let's say you are running a 4-year program, and we'll give you 3,000 your first year. We'll give you the same 3,000 second, third, and fourth year till you complete. So at the end of the day, we'll give you 12,000. But please, let's take note. You can come from the same family, and when you apply, we don't give the same amount. Because we have a software we call the needs assessment tool. We pay you based on your needs. And we do it because we want to bridge the gap between the rich and the poor. So the more needy you are, the higher amount of money that will be given to you. The less needy you are, then you will get getting the lower amount. Let's take note of that. This money is given out to students are insured. So it works in 2 categories. We call it SLPS, Student Loan Protection Scheme. So it works in 2 categories. Now the first one is, let's say I take the loan and unfortunately I pass on. My parents who are grieving will not have to pay back the money. Once the medical reports to confirm that I am dead legally, then it is written off as about death. As Madam was saying, you are there dating, your boyfriend or your girlfriend give you a broken heart, you decide to go and commit suicide. We will not write off the loan. So let's take note of that. We only allow legal deaths, not death by suicide or broken heart and the rest. We do not accept that. That's the first instance. The second one, let's say I'm a student, unfortunately happened to get an accident, that I am declared as permanently incapacitated, meaning I can't go back to school, neither can I work. Once you have a medical report that I am this, then the loan is written off as a bad debt. That is how it works. Now, how then do you apply for the loan? Everything is done online. Unlike the past, we used to have the paper application there online. But we said no. Once you are applying for a university or tertiary, everything is online. So why don't we put away the paper? That is so stressful. So last year, this year going forward, if you want to apply for a loan, then everything should be done online. Our website is there. You visit our website, do all the application, upload the necessary documents, and the only thing you do, you only come to our office. Now in Ghana, everything is now biometric. You come to our office and just take your biometric. That's your fingerprint on our machine, and you just sign. That is all. And please, when the loans are given out to you, you are not expected to pay the money back immediately. If you are doing a degree program, you are given 8 to 10 years after completion to pay back the money. And we do not determine how much you have to pay every month. We give you the luxury to just pay any amount. But you have to ensure that you pay the money within the repayment period. But we normally say it is your best interest. Once you complete and you have the means, you can start making payments little by little until you are done. I gave my contact out because I didn't want to bore people so much. I'll have to go to other places. Office location, thank you. We are located just opposite Ideal, that's Castle Hayford building. The self-contained, before you get to the bridge that they are constructing, the self-contained. The first 2 rooms to your right, that is our office location. Yes, please. So these are our numbers. Yes, so you can call for further deliberations. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, official from the Student Loan Trust. Gradually, we're coming to a close, and we would have an official from the college with the university IT services to also take us through what he has. So please, with an applause, let's welcome Mr. Yahya Abubakari.
Thank you very much. With your kind permission, I would like to take off my mask so that I can be heard clearly. Thank you. Yeah. Good afternoon. You are most welcome to College of Science. My name is Abubakar Yahya, as was introduced. I'm the UITS representative within the college. And we have our office within this complex at the last floor, TF19. You can always visit us. I would like to talk about UITS and ICT facilities on campus. We'll be looking at the systems available to students, our facilities, and some vital links. Then we also look at some do's and don'ts, and we'll conclude. Basically, UITS is University Information Technology Services. And we have the core mandate to provide ICT support to students, staff, and all other stakeholders on campus. We have some units, basically there are 4. And what you have to pay attention here is the IT training and help desk, which is very, very closely related to the students. If you need any support, this is a section you have to contact. We are located, our main office is also located in Castle Hayford building at the 3rd floor. I believe most of you know this place already. And yes, on our facilities, we have a local area network. All the buildings you see on campus are interconnected. And the one I can talk about also is the Wi-Fi. We have the KNUST Wi-Fi, which you can connect and download or browse anything you want. And then we also have, for the Wi-Fi, you need your credentials to be able to connect. And the credentials have already been issued out to you. It is what you use to do the course registration. We will come back to that. And we also have ICT Center, KNUST ICT Center. It's at the first floor of the Prempeh, the second library. I think the Librarian has already talked about that building. It is at the last floor. This is how it is. You should know this place. You can always visit there, browse the internet and download whatever you want to. You don't have to be in your room and be putting stress on your data. We have excellent internet facility there. We have other labs like SRC, UITS, Carrera at commercial area. If you get to the commercial area, you can locate this one. You can also visit there. Then we have at the CCB block, just at the social science side, we have a new lab there at the basement. You can also visit there. Then we have, within the college, we also have a number of labs. And one of the key ones is this central lab. You can see how it is. It's on the computer science floor, FF17. That's the room number. We have other 2 new labs which are coming up. And then we have the systems available to students. We have the student portal, the AMAP, we have the student email. The credentials that were issued out to you is also acting as a mail. You can exchange or send mails among yourself. And during the latter part or tail end of the presentation, I will share with you the link. I think it's studentmail.knust.edu.gh. You can send mails among yourselves. Then we also have ICT help desk. You can, if you have any issue, you can contact them via online also. There's one thing there. You at all times need login credential to access these systems. So you have to keep them confidential. Then we have the student ID card. It's a multi-purpose ID card. It's basically for identification at all times. You can also use as a MasterCard for online transactions. And if you notice, at the various halls, we have this access control facility there. Very soon, you'll be required to use the ID card to be able to be allowed into the halls. So take note of that. And so basically, is to be able to keep records of who goes in and out of the particular facility. If you are a resident of a particular hall, let's say Queen's Hall, you have 24/7 access to the place. But if you are not part of the hall, you can't visit the hall at beyond 10 p.m. So take note of that. Because the access control there wouldn't allow you to have access to the facility. And also prevent unauthorized personnel to enter certain facilities, and also to mitigate theft cases in residential facilities. Yes, as I said, but take note that not all access controls can be accessed by students. For instance, there are certain places, though you have the student ID card, if you are not programmed to be to have access to that facility, you can't. So, and some of the washrooms too are kind of they have these access controls. So it is important to keep your ID cards anytime you move around. And again, we have the other entry point, like the Bomsu Gate. Some of you have cars. If you have car, you have to register with the university so that that access to that gate can be added to your access list on your ID card. Otherwise, you get there, the system will not allow you to pass. You have to turn around and use the main entrance. Then we also have CCTV cameras around. So just take note, just to enhance security, advantage points. Then let's talk about the Vodafone package. This is very, very important because it is through this medium we'll be sending, or the university will be communicating to you. Nobody will go around and be announcing anything. You'll be there, a message will come, and that is enough for you. So what will happen is that each and every one of you will be issued out a SIM card, Vodafone SIM. And on it, on every month, you are going to get 5 gigabit of data, 50 SMS, then 200 minutes of on-net calls, which means you can call any Vodafone number, but you have 200 minutes. And then you have 10 minutes for any network. And then we have the CUG, that is Community User Group. So if all of us are on the package as students, it means I have 500 minutes to call my friend or any classmate. So basically, you can use this to cover your communication on campus. But in case you exhaust your data, the 5 gig, you can recharge and then bundle with this code, *700*1#. So take note of that. And you can also load this package. Assuming you don't have more than one phone, and you want to load the package on your personal Vodafone number, it's possible. You visit UITS, and they will do that for you. And you have to also be responsible when using that card, because currently it's in the name of the university. It's the university asset. So you only becomes yours after you have graduated. Then you can do whatever you want to do. So just be careful. Whatever you do, the university can trace you through the UITS. And even let me also mention this. If you find yourself in the labs and you are browsing, be careful. Don't just visit any site, because UITS can always check the logs and get you and know who is browsing what at what time. Take note of that. Yes, regarding the card, you need to present your admission letter at room 102 at Kelsey Hayford building, so that you can be issued that same card. And all official communication will be sent by that KNUST Vodafone line. So please take note of that. Yes, it's ongoing, but because of the question is, can you go for it today? We encourage people to be at the various centers for the orientation. So hopefully after the orientation, they can easily visit there, yes. Then this is an important unit in the college. Most of you have 2, 3 phones, laptops. If you have problems with them, we call it KOSHU, College of Science Hardware Unit. It is also located at the basement, the common room. There's a library unit, library commons or something, at the basement. Learning commons. When you are entering the building, you turn right towards the security. Just go straight. There's a staircase that will take you down. That is where this unit is. It is there purposely for students and staff. If you have any problems with your laptop or phone, you can visit there. It's better to send it there because we have trusted technicians there, so that they can fix it for you, and then at some relatively cheaper cost. Thank you. Then we have these are the vital links. In fact, you must visit the university website for almost any information that you need. Let's be mindful of this fake news around. If you hear anything, just visit the college website, the university website, just to confirm some of this. So this is the link, www.knusc.edu.gh. We're just looking, and this is the college site. As a member of the College of Science or as a student, you must always visit this site. You can see that here the supplementary exams timetable was put there. So you can see examination taking place there. So always try and visit there, and that's our provost and our registrar. We also have helpdesk.knusc.edu.gh. This is what will help you link up with the support unit of UITS. Sometimes they can have live chats with them, or you can leave a ticket and they will attend to you. Or you can also visit us. Our office is at the last floor, TF19. Then we have the Wi-Fi I talked about. There's some few configurations that need to take place before you can connect. When you visit this site, helpdesk.knust/Wi-Fi, you can read and then get your things done. If you are unable to do it, you can still visit us and we'll help you. I believe most of you are familiar with this portal. This apps.knust.edu.dh/students. Almost everything is there. You can check your biometric status. You can fees, registration, course registration, everything is here. Then we have my virtual class. Because of the COVID, sometimes some assignments or lectures are held online. This is the platform we are using, in addition to some other links. So just know about it. It's myclass.knust.edu.gh. This for library, open educational resource. I believe the librarian talked about it. Then we have the student mail. If you want to send a mail to someone, this is the link. You can just type in the browser studentmail.knust and then you see username and password. Just enter the username and then you enter the password. You can use it as a mail. Then we have the SRC, the Student Representative Council. You can visit there and read more about them. Then off-campus electronic information resources. Those who are not in the halls and are in the hostels, you can also make use of this. Then this is a new system. If you have any feedback, just go there. Maybe you have an idea or anything, just visit this and then make your ideas known to the UITS or the university community. If you want to know how big the university is, the various places, when you visit the virtual tour, I think it's on the main site too, you'll be able to know the other areas on campus. We have official handles like Twitter and the Facebook. Because of the fake news and the rest, always you can trust these sources. Just visit them and then you can get. Now let's come to do's and don'ts. I think it's clear. Pornography and gambling sites, please don't go there, especially when you are in the labs. Be careful. And then we have the stealing. I believe the registrar has also talked about it. You can be punished for that. And then let me talk about the credentials. It's very, very important. Don't share it with your colleagues. Because if you do that, you can be impersonated. You can register your courses. Somebody can use your credential, go in and deregister everything. And once you don't register a course, it means you can't take the exams. Please, let's be careful about that. And it is the same credential you can use to connect to the Wi-Fi. And then, so let's keep it in secret and make sure that we don't share it with other colleagues. There are some other questions. How do I retrieve my student credentials? There are some of you who have not received the credential. It's very easy. You can visit the apps, the student portal. Just before you log in your credential, you see down there, forgot password. Just click on it. A link will be sent to the mail you provided when you are applying for the admission. You just go back to the mail, open it, and then you click a link. Everything will be generated for you. There are other questions there. I use someone's email contact number in my application. How do I change it? Just visit the student portal. You can change it. Some of you use your dad and mom's email. Please change it. Because if you don't change it your own, if something happens and we are sending feedback to you, it will go to your parents. How do I review? Okay. Yes. How do I review devices connected to my profile? On the AMAP, you can, again, visit the student portal. And if there's anything you don't understand or you have any, you can visit us or go to UITS at Casey Hayford building. My Vodafone SIM card has been stolen. Any advice? We have engineering. Vodafone has an office at engineering, at the College of Engineering. It's just at this side. You just go there with your admission letter. They will resolve the issue for you. I don't receive text messages on my school Vodafone SIM. Just visit UITS. It's very important you receive these messages because there can be examination and something will happen. They need to change something, venue or something. They just send text messages. So you need to use that Vodafone SIM. It's very, very important. How do I know my biometric registration was successful? Just visit the portal and go to biometric verification. You will see the response. Who do I contact for any IT issue? As I said, you can visit our office at the TF19 or you can also go to Casey Hayford building at the main UITS office. So to conclude, we hope you will enjoy our services in facilitating your research and learning on KNUST campus. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Abubakar. Yeah. Yes, I think we've had a very long day. And it is time to listen to one of your own. Caesar, yes. So they are going to put the icing on the cake. So I'll invite your association's president to interact with you. So welcome him.
The registrar, all college board members, all protocol well observed. I would like to use this opportunity to welcome each and every person here to the College of Science on behalf of the Science Student Association. My name is Julius Kuju Ichampon, your president. The vice president of the association is also Kujo Opoku Ichampon. We are not brothers, please. So, the general secretary, Fidaus Mubarak Bawa. The organizing secretary, Andrew Yadom Adakwa. Our financial secretary, Prepra de Graaf. And our strong and confident women's commissioner, Faustina Ochre. These are your executives. If you have any issue, please do not hesitate to get to them. Also, CISA is here for you. CISA exists because students exist. Just like how it is done in the SHS, you have SRC representatives who channel your communications to the administration. All of us can't walk directly to the provost office. If you have any issue, do not hesitate to come to the CISA office and inform any of the executives. You probably may not see any of them, but if you see any of those in this particular course, and they also have their IDs, the executives have their ID, they will show that to you in the course of the semester. You make them know of your challenge, and they will help you, address it. I would like to share something small with all of us. Most of you here probably may not get a program you really wanted. Don't worry, I'm a victim. I wanted to be a civil engineering student, but I had statistics. My mom asked me to come. I was like, member. But there's a saying, Penyinu nenim kwaino. Later on, I listened to her and I decided to confirm my admission and be here. I got to the class with no knowledge about what I'm about to read. With the help of my senior course mates and the lecturers, I decided to look at the positive parts of the program I'm reading. Let me be very honest with you. There's nothing easy under the sun. The challenges will come. But just like how David did in the Bible, you look at the positive side. You look at the positive side and hit it hard. Focus on the opportunities you are going to enjoy after reading your program, other than paying much attention to the weakness and to the weak side. This is very important. Before I went to Furipenyi SHS, my science teacher always told me biology is very difficult. My physics teacher is always like, physics is very good. It will make you smart. One main reason why I decided to read science is because of physics. When I got to SHS, most of my classmates were finding difficulties in physics. But physics was going on so well for me. Most of them were doing very well in biology. Biology wasn't going on well for me. It was because of my mindset. I agreed to what my teacher once told me, that biology is difficult. Challenge yourself. Remember, there's nothing difficult under the sun, and there's nothing new under the sun too. Someone has been able to achieve whatever you are doing today, and you can be able to do that. They are not superhuman beings. The only superhuman being exists in heaven. Okay, one thing that is so dear to this particular college has to do with our appearance. You can't wear anything at all anywhere. Let me be very honest with you. I can take this thing everywhere I want, even to the club. But for some of you, what you are wearing, you can't take it to the Provost office. You can't take it to the Provost office. So please, anytime you have plans of coming to the college, make sure you appear here officially, in official. So the association executives have agreed on a way to let us all appear in an acceptable manner. On Mondays and Tuesdays, you are all supposed to appear officially dressed. It's not compulsory, but you must appear that way. Yes, you must appear that way. The lecturers can sack you. It's part of the code of conduct. On Wednesdays, those who are privileged to get their department souvenirs, you are supposed to wear that around. It's also not compulsory, but will you look at yourself to be the odd one? No. So if you have the money, you purchase it. And on Thursdays, we put on sister souvenirs, the sister wear. In fact, I know I look good. Yeah. So please and please and please, on Thursdays, do your best to come here in your sister souvenir. If you want one, kindly pass by the sister office and purchase. It's not compulsory, but that is the way we use for all our gatherings. If you are going for an outreach, we are not going to allow you to wear anything at all, because we are going out as a team, and it will be necessary we all appear in one uniform. So please kindly take note of the sister wear. And on Friday, we have to remember our continent. So on Fridays, we all come to the college in an African wear. And please, I want you to take note that there's nothing compulsory. All this that I've stated is not compulsory. But dressing shabbily is more expensive than dressing official. I can take this thing to class from Monday to Friday. But do you think wearing your tattered trowel with your shorts, with your sandal, your flip-flop or whatever, to lectures, can you wear the same thing from Monday to Friday? No. If you're a boy, the girls will be like, boy, we will not there. We are not the share. So please and please and please, make sure you go with the official way so that you look decent and acceptable. It's very easy for you to be called a criminal when you are shabbily dressed than the thief who is officially dressed. I'm not saying if you are going to do something wrong, well, something very official. No, not at all. Please and please and please. And finally, I would like to wish each and every person the best. CISA is home away from home, and that is College of Science. In as much as you probably may need with the executive to do something for you, always keep it at the back of your mind that we are doing our best to ensure that we help the college to achieve its goal. not what we want to achieve alone. Thank you very much for your audience.
Hello. So, good afternoon, friends. My name is Kojo Pokwe Champon, and as already been introduced, I'm the Vice President of the Science Student Association. And what I'll be doing here is I'll touch on the dressing once again, but this time not from the university point of view as enshrined in the Code of Conduct, but then from a personal view. So how should you view this as a student? I think my approach to the university, we all understand that there are a lot of notions that go on that to be in the university is signals that you are grown. And so you realize that after the university, you start working, and at the workplace, you cannot wear anything. And so what I built my dressing style on was the fact that invariably, I cannot escape from looking official. So if you want to work at any office, you have to dress and appear very decent. And so why don't you pick up yourself and then start here? So in the morning, you have lectures. Someone has to go to the office. It's literally the same thing. And so I think when you adopt that approach and you start some things that you will be doing after university here, it becomes part of you, and you can do a lot of things, and then you can go far. The second thing I would like to talk about is taking responsibility for yourself. From the registration period to now, a lot of people have shared their contacts. If you need me, call me. I'm always available if you need any help. But none of them is more sustainable than taking self-responsibility. So a lot of links were shared by the UITS personnel. It shows you how on your own you can get access to every information that you need. I think our officials and lecturers also shared their office numbers with us. And let's look at it this way. If everyone is calling Julius or myself, it means that we need several phones, or your call would come in when I'm also answering someone's call. And so even as much as we are willing to help you, it becomes very unsustainable looking at the numbers. So like some of you were noting the links and the contacts, it was very good. If you also didn't get it, you can see your friend and get those things. Make sure that you always find ways and means to take responsibility for yourself, and that would help you. The last thing is very dear to my heart. And it concerns the College of Science and our achievements even outside the college. So the Pan-African University Debate Championship has been on for a while, and KNUST is the only African university outside the Southern Africa region, i.e. Zimbabwe, South Africa, to have won it. The other 11 trophies have gone to University of Rhodes, University of Wits, and University of South Africa, and within those regions. And so it means that KNUST is the only university outside the Southern Africa region to have won this trophy. And we've done it 3 consecutive times. So KNUST is the back-to-back championship, champions of the Pan-African University Debate Championship. Now, why is it important to you? I would like to know that the second time the school won it and the third time the school won it, College of Science students were members of the team that won. And so for the second time, it was Master Michael Ampa, who is now a graduate student, who led the team to win it. And for the third time, I'm proud to say that I was a member of the team that won it. And so that goes to show that even outside the confines of science, there are a lot of things that College of Science students are doing. And so I would like to extend that invite to you. And if you want to become a member of the Debate Society, you can take my contact and then you test me, and I'll also help you with the experience that I have and how you can join. There are intercollegiate. The last intercollegiate was won by the college as well. Master Michael Ampa and then Master Andrew Steku won it for us last year. They did not organize it, and this year the administration is looking to organize one. And so if you want to continue with this good legacy, please join the Debate Society and help project the Science Students Association. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Sisa. And this is administration reminds me of something. The president and vice are our champions, right? The organizing secretary, Faustina, right? 4 decades ago, around this time, tomorrow to be precise, somebody just came on our radio and announced that he was taking over the reins of administration in Ghana. And he was General Champon. So, and it's 2022, and that was 1972, 40 years. So I hope you give them all the support so that they do what they're supposed to do. I think the general had good intentions for the country. For the first time in our lives, or in my life, I realized people were ready to support him. Operation Feed Yourself, he started. And everybody was growing anything, anywhere. And even till today, in my house, I have used car tires, I have sand in them, and I'm planting in there to enjoy. How we get it? It helps us a lot. So offer them the same support that Ghanaians offered this man at that time. I'm sure we've come a very long way. I wish to congratulate you for having the opportunity to be here as students, and I'm sure you're going to make very good use of the opportunity that you have. As I indicated earlier, what we've had here are supposed to be signposts. You're going to walk them. So as you walk, keep asking. If you have any problem, just go to wherever you feel what you've heard here, where you're supposed to be, and ask. And if you don't have the answers, our offices are also open. The Provost office is there. My office is also there. We'll offer you the assistance that you need. Let's have these announcements, and then we leave this place. Excuse me. I asked if any of you hasn't been vaccinated. If you haven't, or if you have one shot, we have a team out there, COVID. I'm sure these days when vaccination is mentioned, it's COVID. The COVID team is out there. Just be there and get vaccinated. If you've never done it, get it today. If you're still waiting for the second, you do that there. If you've I think the one that is one shot is also, they have it also. Okay, all right. Do we have a booster now in Ghana? Okay, I'm sure we have how many? About 7 million people vaccinated. I'm sure less than about half of our population is vaccinated. So those who haven't, please do that. From Friday, tomorrow is another faculty of Physical and Computational Sciences. From Friday, we'll have the departmental orientation sessions also. That is also going to take you through other aspects of your stay here. It will start at 8:30, and then the venues are the Biological Sciences Auditorium. Use the time to know where to find what. I'm sure you've started it. Keep asking. The Environmental Science Department is a TF1. Biochemistry is SF1. Optometry SF20. Food Science SF19. SF is second floor. S is second. So the SF is second floor. The TF is third floor. Good. I'm sure some of you have started with the Biological Sciences Auditorium. You know where Biological Sciences is? All of them are coming here for the department. Okay, all right. So Biological Sciences, you'll be here. All right. Environmental Science will be at TF1, third floor of this block 1. And the Biochemistry will be second floor 1. And then Optometry, second floor 20. Food Science, second floor 19. Medical examination is ongoing. Has any of you done it? Good. For you, it's taking place at a student's clinic. I'm sure you know where it is, where we have that beautiful building. And then the Faculty of Social Sciences, their new block is somewhere there. UTAG is on strike, as we all heard about, whatever you need to do will be communicated to you. Nobody should run home. And then from here, there'll be a refreshment out there. I'm sure CISA is going to assist in that, so that okay. So you file out quietly, and then you pick it up from behind when we are leaving. But there is one thing I forgot. Noise making. CISA, help us. Noise making. One of the, I wouldn't say banned, but excessive noise is banned. In the course of last semester, the academic year, some of you, I don't know, for some reason, some of you were wearing your old school's attire, and you were making a lot of noise. So please, do well to help us this time. So excessive noise is not permitted, please. So once again, congratulations for being here. I would invite Mr. Nyame to give us the closing prayer once again. For you, use tomorrow to do some of the things here, the vaccination and the medical examination. Since tomorrow, possibly you are a bit free. Yeah. So Mr. Nyame will give us that. That's all. All right. Okay. He's telling me so many things. I'll leave that to him. Yes. Initially, we had thought of filing out and picking the items, but he's suggesting, as you sit in, they are brought in. Is it the best? Is it the best? All right. Okay. And then he's saying some souvenirs. Come and explain.
For those who showed interest in the CISA wear, chemistry students and optometry students, from optometry students and biochemistry, from this place, kindly pass by the CISA office for your wear. And CISA wear, those who showed interest in it, come for it and you take it away. And for the rest of you, do well to come around tomorrow morning for yours. Thank you very much.
So we'll take the closing prayer from Mr. Nyame, the faculty registrar. So thank you very much for being here.
Can we please stand together? Studio B and C, we are closing together. Shall we pray? Heavenly Father, we are most grateful to you for helping us this far. The strength you've given to us, the pieces of very important information you're giving to us, the education, the sensitization, the direction you're giving to us for the good of our stay on campus. We thank you so far for the resource persons you've used. And we commit all these fresh students into your hands. We pray for guidance, we pray for protection, we pray for wisdom and understanding so that their stay in this university, not only for the first year, but the rest of the academic years ahead will be fruitful. Give them a cause to say that it was good that they came to KNUST. And more importantly, those who wanted to go into certain programs that they could not, who may be confused as to whether to continue or not, give them visions and speak to them and let them know that their future is in your hands and not in certain programs. It is you who determine our destinies and our future. And with you, nothing shall be impossible. We thank you for this privilege. We pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
God bless you.
God bless you too.
Please just be seated as they come in to give the snacks. Thank you.
Yeah, hello. So my name is Samuel Sawyer, and you are?
Abokro Presla.
Pardon?
Abokro Presla.
Presla. Oh, Presla. Wow. So Presla, how was your how was the meditation? How did you see it?
It was good.
Did it meet your expectations?
Yeah, it met.
It met your expectations. What program are you reading?
Biochemistry.
Biochemistry. Wow. Why did you choose biochemistry?
Actually, I I didn't choose biochemistry, but that's what I got.
So what program did you choose?
I chose pharmacy.
Chose pharmacy. So how was your feeling when you got biochemistry instead of pharmacy?
Like, I wasn't happy like that, but my auntie said I should come and do it, so I came.
So you are doing it because of your auntie?
No, like I didn't want to be in the house. I wanted to come to school.
Okay.
I just did some research on biochemistry and then I came.
Okay. So I hope you love this program that you chose, and I hope everything will go on well with you. Charlie, so we'll meet again. Sure. Thank you. Okay, so my name is Samuel and you are?
Yes, I'm Enoch.
Enoch?
Yes.
Enoch
Atta.
Enoch Atta?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Enoch Atta, what program?
It's environmental science.
Environmental science. Yes. Interesting. Why choose environmental science?
Yes, my brother having a company there, so I want to be a safety engineer or something else in it, so that I choose that course.
So you are waiting to go 4 years and go and join your brother's company?
Yes.
Wow, that's serious. That's serious. So how was the orientation? How did you go?
Oh, the orientation is cool.
It's cool.
Yes, and I'm happy that I'm in this college because of the history I've heard about. Let's say my seniors winning the awards and stuff, so I'm glad to be here.
Oh, wow. Oh. Then we hope you would be able to pass through the 4 years.
Yes.
And go and join your brother in his company.
Yes.
So Charlie, it was nice meeting you.
Okay.
So we'll meet again. Okay.